miss you, brother. You betrayed me.
Yo, you was my homeboy, shit, more like family. So it's sad to see just how this turned into a casualty. I had my suspicions, you battling addictions with your previous convictions. Why didn't you just listen? Now you stuck in this confliction and you turned into infliction. When I speak to you, don't know what is fact or fiction. You telling me little white lies when you snorting up on them white lines. I know you ain't in your right mind. Liquid drifted down this pipeline. Always intoxicated, pupils all dilated, leaving me and your family always feeling violated. I miss the days we used to kick it just like judo. Pass me another Bruto, the dynamic duo. We was Batman and Robin. I miss you quite often. I can't believe my best friend is laid up in a coffin. I remember the first time I seen you stuck in comatose. I pray you catch the Holy Ghost, not another overdose. Fuck.
I don't know, where do we go? Real homies always ride till death, but I guess we got nothing left. I don't know, where do we go? Real homies always ride till death, but I guess we got nothing left.
Yo, you ever had the real ones that's been down with you since you were at your lowest? The truest of the true without ulterior motives? How about them fake ones and I ain't guess to name them? They claim to keep it 100, but really they just full of it. Got no problems using you for them to succeed. But where the fuck are they when you're the one it's in need? I guess they'd rather scar your ass like you Mufasa. Can give two shits if we hit rock bottom.
Look at Jay fall, yeah that's right, Joe, we got him, he's no longer a problem.
Well, hate it or love it, this underdog is coming up. Thanks in large part to my Ranger squad. You see, I know who's my fam, and I know who the frauds. You think you got me beaten? Well, sorry, not sorry, you dumb shits. You already lost. Got no qualms giving you that shoulder that's covered in frost.
I don't know, where do we go? Real homies always ride till death, but I guess we got nothing left. I don't know, where do we go? Real homies always ride till death, but I guess we got nothing left.
Nothing left. Yeah, that sounds so wrong. Remember hanging on out with you when the others are gone, but you don't see that now. Can't really fathom how. It's like you're just a phantasm. Now this chasm's out. Wow. It ain't like you, dude. Ain't like you to be this rude. Told you all the things that no one else could ever see me through. Told you all about how all the others left me feeling used. You dipped out like nothing. Can't believe this. Now I'm so confused. Real homies come by only once every blue moon. Got my friends that die for me. Now I'm hoping you do too. Someone like Jason always helping me get through. Giving up the love has got me sorry for you, but I'll be carrying through. No, I'm not carrying you. Got friends since preschool, so I'm just fucking embarrassed for you. God gave me this to learn, best believe I'll carry that through. Sometimes we need to lose just to see what we've been missing too. I guess
I don't know, where do we go? Real homies always ride till death, but I guess we got nothing left. I don't know, where do we go? Real homies always ride till death, but I guess we got nothing left. I don't know, where do we go? Real homies always ride till death, but I guess we got nothing left. I don't know, where do we go? Real homies always ride till death, but I guess we got nothing left.
And
Woo!
there we are, I think.
Hey, shout out to We Scheme, you know what I mean? Love you too, bro. You know you low-key love that song. Quit playing this too.
I don't think he does. I don't think
You know,
he does.
you notice he put the mask back on, right? Because low-key, underneath the mask, he's like, man, that song is fire.
Is that are you trying to say like that's his mass persona saying that he don't love it? It's not Scheme.
It's not Scheme, no.
Real homies always ride till death. Good thing this song will kill me soon. What are you even doing? Aren't you live? I saw you were live a minute ago.
He was live already on Twitch.
Hi, Heather. Hi, Jay. Hi, Jiminator. Hello, surprisingly large YouTube presence that is here. Hello, Twitch people. And the 4 people that came from Facebook, because I am streaming this on Facebook for some reason, because
I saw that. I got the noto for that.
Ended stream early because I'm covering the depth trial tomorrow. Oh, are you finally putting some more content on WeSpeak? Or are you doing it like on you?
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm looking at that stream he did earlier. Said, let's fight about current events, depth versus herd.
I saw that. I think I also saw in his Discord what the next subpar rap battles is going to be on Depp and Herd.
Ooh, that's gonna be dope! I can't wait for that.
I just want to see We Scheme dressed up as Amber Heard. Like that's my motive. So I mean, well, it's an awesome stream, but like, do you? If Scheme wants to jump in for a minute and talk about, well, nah, never mind. Scheme doesn't want it. Scheme's doing Depp and Herd tomorrow. I have thoughts about Depp and Herd, and honestly, like we had talked about, like the tone of this stream, kind of coming back to like general instability, negativity in the world, beef in the world, everybody being at each other's throats, all this stuff. It's kind of funny because, you know, Depp and Herd would fit into the vibe of the night on what we were planning on talking about anyway.
Yes.
Let's see. What don't I want to do? I was going to ask if you wanted to jump in for a minute and talk about Depp and Herd, but you probably don't want to do that since tomorrow you will be talking about it. Tomorrow I'll be watching the trial live from front. Jeez, no, you can't do that tomorrow. It's like 40 hours, dog.
Ooh.
Like they're okay. It literally is impossible. Are you just going live and like staying live until you're done? I mean, the stuff that's going on live. Okay, the stuff that's going on live tomorrow makes a lot more sense. I have a lot of thoughts about Depp and Herd. Like, there's the Liberation continuing starting at 9. Yeah, no, I know. That's usually when I'm going to bed lately. So, yeah, I get the notifications on YouTube every day and watch it.
Yeah.
My sleep schedule is beyond fucked. Hopped in for a few, but headed to bed. Have a good night, Tawaka. Appreciate you stopping in. Jiminator says, how far is that from being over? It's a little bit. Don't you mean Depp and Turd? Yes, but she does have a legal name, so we do have to honor that if we're gonna speak with any amount of Friday is their closing arguments. I knew it was soon because they were wanting to be done before Memorial Day.
Hey, let me grab some water real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you're good. Adjust your neck like you have a tie on. Oh wow. Okay. Is he wearing something that looks sophisticated? You can jump in. This is much more civil, at least in the early stages. If you do want to like have a little bit of discussion, Scheme, you are welcome. I will make the command decision and say that you are welcome to jump in if you'd like to for a minute. By no means are you compelled to, because I know that you'll be going to bed soon. And unlike me, you are a father who has a sleep schedule that you can actually abide by. And mine has just been fucked lately. My sleep schedule, I do want to say this. My sleep schedule. Oh, wait. Because, yeah, Jason, from my picture right there, it's got my tie hanging down. That is hilarious, actually. I see what you're saying. Yeah. My sleep schedule has been fucked lately. Just so anybody who doesn't know, like, why reactions aren't happening and my content drops after noon and everything is because, like, so my daughter has started this weird thing. There's a train that runs about a quarter of a mile from my house
Mhm.
every morning at 4:00 in the morning. Well, my daughter has decided at almost 4:00 in the morning to be yelling, like blood curdling screams. I'm not talking about like, ah, train. I'm talking about like, ah! like that shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's
And
hilarious.
it
Coming from you.
doesn't stop. And so like that happens from her bedroom, whether I'm taking a
Mhm.
shit, laying on the couch, sleeping in my bed, whatever the case may be. Well, I'm sorry. I am diagnosed legally with PTSD for anyone who doesn't know. And so legitimately blood curdling screams to me at 4:00 in the morning don't really go over well. And so
I would
anyway,
imagine.
yeah, so her new trend has decided that I am going to never sleep well again. And it's interfered with like all my sleep, because it started with I needed like a midday nap.
Mhm.
And then that fucked my sleep schedule in this direction so that I was still up for the screams, I guess. But then
Mhm.
like that turned into, now I'm like up all the way through the screams until my wife is ready to wake up
Mhm.
and live, and it's just bad. Like it's not good.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I just fixed my sleep schedule finally after a month trying to get that shit straight.
Let's see. You should be happy to know that I'm annoyed at people saying I'm too blunt, mean, rude with music reviews, etc. So I'm actually going to finally start being blunt. As, you know, I'm not unhappy to know that. I think that is a fair thing.
Mhm.
I've always compared myself and said, you know, like Scheme is meaner than me. We'll give you similar critiques, but
Mhm.
Scheme's going to be meaner when he does it. And
He,
so,
he's not gonna hold back, and that's putting
yeah.
it mildly.
And so, I mean, if you're going very, very blunt, like I'm here for that, because I'm okay with that.
Yep.
Like I want to hear Scheme being very blunt, because then that makes me feel better about when I'm like, I don't like this, but you know what? You got a good voice, dude. Come back to the booth and try again. So like when I'm like, no, you got a good voice, like come back to the booth and try again, at least I'll know in my heart. If Scheme listens to the same song, he's just gonna be like, no, fuck this. I'm not listening to another second.
He's
Like
gonna be like, "Fuck this shit, I'm out."
yeah. And you know what? For whatever reason, maybe I'm a bad person. That makes me happy. Let's see. Hi, Milkman. I didn't see you join, but hello. What up, Bad Fish? Great evening from Montana. Well, I can't imagine there's ever been a great evening in Montana, but you're there, and you seem to be enjoying it. So thank you. My ears, yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. That just shows you some of the vocal range that I actually have. If anyone's ever, looking for a highlight reel. Must be Alpha Wednesday. Actually, this is Jason and Tyler's awesome show.
But what up, Hiley?
But what is up, Holly? Bring head fitting hats? Yes. Oh, yes. Listen, I hate snapbacks. Okay. I'm not even going to play. I hate snapbacks. I hate like all the nonsense that is not a snapback or something that fits very well.
And I like beanies, but I don't like the original thick beanies. So luckily, I found a company that actually makes some nice thin ones that work just as well.
Are you reacting to music? Only if you pay us. Otherwise, no. Hi, Holly.
I love that response.
Let's see. It's gonna start being blunt. Yes. Oh, apparently. Oh Lord, I'm so far behind on these. I've been holding back quite a bit. I'm done with that noise. Okay, well.
You've been holding back?
Podcast,
I
not
find that hard to
reactions.
believe.
Yes, that's the thing. Scheme is meaner than anyone on YouTube. Not only will he tell you like it is, he will tell you like it is in a way that makes you feel completely dumb when you have to Google his genius. See, that's the thing. Like I always try to like at least soften the blow a little bit, you know? Like And this comment makes no sense to me. There will be no more sugar-coated attempted at constructive see, like my thing has always been constructive criticism. So that's cool. Like just pass everybody who wants like old scheme over to me and just be like, Tyler will give you constructive criticism. I'm no longer doing that. Like I would appreciate that endorsement actually.
Whiskey will take you to the woodshed and will make you feel ashamed.
Let's see. You have to work on your own construction. I'm just going to let you know the foundation is rotting in the building. That's great, though. Why would you not want to jump in here and just voice these opinions? Sleep schedule is whatever. Kids, I'm college. Wife has full-on career. Oh, kids are in college. I think it was a typo. Wife has a full-time career. Just turned 50 and built an independent recording label and recording studio and a marijuana dispenser. You're a fucking entrepreneur, man.
Damn.
Like hold up. Like, why did you wait until 50 is my question.
I don't know. Maybe marijuana just became legal over there.
Snapbacks are cancer. Do you enjoy creme de la creme? Oh, God. Oh, you blow real soft. No. Seems like a dick. What? Okay.
I think that was in reference to Scheme.
Life just beginning at 50 for an Army veteran, not Team Delta. Oh, you were Cav Scout? Got you. Oh, wait. He went on to say that after. I actually knew what a not Team Delta was. My recruiter was a not Team Delta. So to any veterans this Memorial Day weekend, right on. Give me a link, I guess. It's on Instagram, actually, if you want to jump in and be negative in person. I sent
Give
it
me
to
a
you
link, I
initially.
guess. So I think he wants in.
He does. He wants to be part of the awesome show, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm ready for that energy.
Yeah, we need more pale-faced Hispanics up in here, other than just me.
My life is being taken over by pale-faced Hispanics at this point.
Yeah.
Like I don't really appreciate it.
And to the YouTube overlords, it's okay. Neither Scheme and or I are offended, so it's okay. Right? We accept it.
It's all out of love. I love all the pale-faced Hispanics in my life. So,
and I love all the balding white guys who still want to chase the dream. I'm just saying.
Well, if you want to go by heritage, at least call me Irish. Like, come on now.
Well, see, I didn't want to assume because you don't want to assume. Hey, there's the man.
You didn't want to assume that I had Irish heritage. Is that like this is like the image of Irish heritage? You understand that? Like this is what it looks like.
Well, I was afraid that if I was to assume your race, you know what I'm saying, you might play the race card on me.
Irish is not a race.
Well, no, that's why I said heritage. But no, like when you literally look up like all the features and everything from cheekbones to hairline to beard, like everything, like the fact that my mustache doesn't connect, like all that, like I check every single box, and
I'm pretty sure there's some Europeans that look like you too, though. I mean, I'm just saying.
All right.
I think Scheme wants to comment on that more than I do.
No, as soon as I log in, it went from other talk to racist talk. Because every time I'm on here, you guys got to somehow turn it to racist. Like as soon as my face comes on an AlphaTyler stream, someone starts trying to push the conversation to be racist.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Every damn time. It never fails. We're talking about like music and reviews, and then Scheme pops in. So about racist things.
Hey, Scheme, but at least this time there were no M-bombs dropped, so we're good.
Yeah. Well, improving little by little around here.
Alan says there's the dick himself. So now you're a phallus. Wasn't that in a movie with little kid? I see pale-faced Hispanics.
I see pale-faced Hispanics.
All the time.
Oh man. Irish is a race to the bar, yes.
There you go. See, I was half right.
Transylvania and romantic Teutonic. There's no way that is what your fucking
May the Schwartz be with
genetic breakdown says. Like, you are Transylvanian and Teutonic Knight. Like, that is not your genealogical breakdown.
It is now.
Mm-hmm.
I need more Canadians in my chat. Why do I need Canadians in my chat?
Scheme doesn't want to
Because
talk.
Bubba J is a
Canadians.
Canadian, so that's why he's making that statement.
Yeah, but I literally stream with a Canadian every Tuesday.
That's true. Is Todd from Canada?
Yes, Todd's a Canadian.
What?
Born and
There
raised.
you go, Bubba J. Your wish has been granted.
Every Tuesday, I literally stream with a Canadian every Tuesday.
He still lives in Canada?
No.
Okay. So he made the right choice at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was born and raised in Canada.
No one loves Canadians. We just pacify them. Red-haired, pale-faced Hispanics. Oh.
There's not only one. My grandfather is a red-bearded. I'm not red-haired. That's the orange lighting I have. But I'm red-bearded, and so is my grandfather.
I feel as though, because I am actually streaming to Facebook, and I don't do that often. I feel as though we should stop talking about race as much.
Fucking Facebook, bro.
Well, that's like my business page. I haven't used it for a long time,
Facebook
but I'm trying.
Streams. All right, I'm gonna start streaming on Facebook to piss off the Karens.
I'm going 3 places right now. It's YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook's the only one that I'm cut off on, man.
Oddly enough, like, people are watching on Facebook, so I appreciate them. Shout
Hey,
out
Facebook boomers. What was it like for you watching Armstrong land on the moon?
Wow.
How was that memory for you?
Wow.
So you don't even do Facebook at all? Like, you don't even have one?
I have one that basically Instagram auto posts to.
Well, yeah, I'm not talking about like your artist page.
Oh no, I don't. I haven't had a personal Facebook since like 2010. Well, no, I had a personal Facebook up until maybe 2014, 2015.
And then he made the right decision and jumped ship.
Yeah, I haven't had Facebook in a long time.
Oh, wow. I shouldn't show this, but I'm going to. My family was from Transylvania and Romania, and we served as Teutonic Knights, last name Schwartz, and
the Jew is strong in us.
Well, I was going to let you read that to yourself, but you got it.
You can't say the Jew is strong in someone?
I don't think so. I don't even know where like racial lines go anymore.
Yeah.
What even is anti-Semitic these days?
Saying something that's anti-Jewish.
But you know what? Fair.
I think it's pretty simple.
I mean, logically that would make sense, but YouTube is kind of not logical at times.
Yeah, but they'll clap you for doing nothing. Mechanics were called farriers. Get them combustible. But anyway, all I was saying is I had an epiphany recently about a lot of what I do.
Was it that you're missing revenue because you're not talking about Johnny Depp? Because everyone talking about Johnny Depp is making
No,
money?
I've been watching that trial and doing some stuff. I'm just doing a little more on it now because it's something I enjoy following. I mean, the first thing I did on Johnny Depp was last January. I wrote a song about the situation. So it's something I've been like keeping an eye on for a while. So well over a year now.
Right.
Because I'd heard about it, but I got like somewhat actively involved like a little over a year ago. So that's more of just something I'm doing while the iron is hot or whatever, right? Like let's talk about it while it's there, since I do have a natural interest. But in all of my other stuff, it was I had Matt over, PFV Postcard, however you know him. Most people in this community know Matt.
I'm always.
He was going to come over and film another music video for Long Live Pop Punk. And then when he was coming over, I was like, I'm canceling the music video. Just come over and we're going to hang out. We have one music video for the album and I'm just going to chill. And we were just hanging out and I was like, doing the Long Live Pop Punk album gave me a lot of different perspectives on stuff. It's the longest I've spent on an album time wise. And like just a lot of diligence that went into it. And it's just like, you know, I gave far too many fucks. And I was like, as I've developed this channel, I've started like, once it became like what makes my family money, I started to give like a lot of fucks. And it doesn't have any sort of obvious net benefit, like financially, to give these fucks.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just like, bro, what if I just stopped again? Like, well, not again, because We Scheme as a brand has always been pretty calculated. And I was just like, what if I just stopped the part where I give fucks about things? And
just start being you?
A little bit more me. There still has to be some restraint because of the nature of my brain as the autistic ADHD boy. But just, you know, there's certain games that we all play, and I play far fewer of them, but there's still a few that I play. I was like, what if I just stopped? And then Matt was like, oh, I stopped a long time ago. I was like, I know you did. So I'm in a zero fucks given part of the Scheme lore again.
Okay, but did you know that this was the lineup for Hollywood Vampires? Because I've heard them mentioned during the Depp Heard trial, obviously. I did not listen to them.
Although the band?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard it's a pretty interesting stacked band.
It did occur to me one day, like while I was driving home, I was like, I should look at who's in that, because I bet Johnny Depp isn't the only famous person. Yeah. That seems like a fucking stupid lineup. Like that.
Fun.
What's that?
It could probably be fun.
I will probably listen to them. Mostly because I'm a super Aerosmith fangirl from way back. No. And so like I see Joe Perry. So Joe Perry is obviously far from my favorite part of Aerosmith, but like W's there.
It would sound pretty interesting.
It's a nifty little
These
lineup.
are my friends.
So what let me ask you this while you're here, because we were planning on talking about like, you know, just drama worldwide anyway tonight.
Yeah.
But let me ask you, like, so the last time you and I spoke, Grizzy had dropped his Tom McDonald diss. We talked about it. Have you listened to it yet?
I still haven't. I've been busy with the house shit.
Damn it. Have you listened to his ACAL and Tom McDonald fan diss?
No, but that's hilarious. I didn't know he dropped one. That makes me very happy.
He did. He's actually dropped 2 songs since the
man, I gotta catch up on my Grizzy lore.
He also like right after he did that, he put up a poll asking if fans want to see him do a diss track on himself.
Yeah.
And majority of them voted in favor, including myself.
The thing is, like everybody should have always known, like, Grizzy's open to dissing himself. That's what I've been saying from the beginning. Like, Grizzy is not negating himself when he's talking about clout chasing and everything. He's not pulling himself out of the conversation. He's just actually cognizant of it. Like,
yeah.
I was wondering when, sorry, not to cut you off, but I just want to say real quick that I was wondering if that's what all this was building up to. Was it building up to this diss track for him to do on himself?
Probably, honestly. Like the thing is, like, Grizzy is not. There are very few people who are aware that what they're doing is clout chasing. Like, as a YouTube reactor, you are clout chasing.
Yes.
As a rapper, you are clout. Well, you know, some rappers are not clout chasing. I guess like NF wasn't really clout chasing. But I mean, for the most part, like, you're clout chasing, you know?
Mm.
And what I've always appreciated about Grizzy is that he's always willing to say, yes, I'm clout chasing. Like, I'm 100% doing that. Like, give me views. Yeah. That's what I like about Scheme.
Mm-hmm.
Scheme's like, yes, I'm clout chasing. Give me views.
If I'm mentioning another artist in any context, I am almost certainly chasing the clout that they have.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's by direct attempt or indirect result, it's still there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, instead of mentioning these artists, I would just talk about Susie from down the street.
I think Grizzy disses Grizzy as hard as Grizzy disses anyone else. The thing
I think it'll be kind of like when I dissed myself, no holds bar. That'd be the Grizzy way.
I don't know. Your diss to yourself still makes me uncomfortable.
I don't know if Grizzy. Well, that's just because I've got a lot of shit on myself. I don't know how shitty of a person Grizzy is. I'm just like a diss on myself is going to get really spicy because I'm not a good person.
I'm not saying like I'm mad at you or like it changed my perceptive or God bless, it's late.
Perception.
Yeah, perception. I'm not saying like it changed any of my views about you. Like I still feel the same way about you that I did before. He says as he scrawls his fancy signature. But you know, like the thing is, like, it was just deep, and like listening to it, like it's not a comfort because I know you, like I know your music and I know you know, and so it's just not comfortable for me to listen to. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, because it's actually real.
Yeah.
Most people diss themselves, and it's they basically just regurgitate whatever haters in comments say. They don't usually elaborate on what someone who was actually dissing them might know about them, right? Usually if you get dissed by someone that knows what they're doing, they either know you personally and know shit about you or dig up dirt on you. But usually when people diss themselves, what I notice is all they do is they regurgitate the disses that haters in the comments do because that's safe and it's crowd pleasing.
Yeah.
When I diss myself, I was like, if I was against someone who knew me well, what would they diss me for? And that's what I went with.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Well, and I mean, you know, it came off harsh. It, you know.
Well, I've never been shy of saying a couple things that people always kind of like knee-jerk react to, like, oh no. There's two things that there are probably like a million different live streams or videos or contexts where I've said it. One, I'm not a good person. Two, I don't like myself. And a lot of times people will be like, oh, you're a good person. Blah, everyone like, I'm like, I'm not trying to say that in any sort of a way to get a reaction or to get a rebuttal or to get people to tell me to have better self-care or whatever else. I say that in the same way that I interact with everybody online and everything you've ever seen me interact with. I'm a very pragmatic, objective, logical person. I, as myself, I'm not a good person. I don't think there are very many good people in the world. I'd say like, to be a good person requires something that most people won't do, which is to deny yourself most anything that gives you any sort of advantage or good outcome in life. Most good people die very, very young because of this. So I think most people are bad. It's just different degrees of how bad are you and how much will you hurt other people from your badness. And then as far as not liking myself, I don't like myself because I don't generally feel that anyone aside from the very few good people in the world deserve to be liked. Usually kids should be liked. They're innocent and they're usually good. And then once you're an adult, you've probably become a shitty person as well. And it only gets worse the older you get. And I think the world would be a healthier place if more people realize that they're not that great of people, except to themselves and some of their immediate circle. And they probably shouldn't like themselves so much. And I tend to practice what I preach.
It's funny because I don't know that my wife is watching this, but this sounds like the first conversation I had with my wife where I was like, I don't consider myself, like when we were like getting ready to date, you know, we had been through the getting to know each other phase and all that stuff. And like, we were about to start dating. And I was like, you know, I don't really consider myself a very good person. Like, just so you know, like I don't like myself. and like, you know, I even got into the point, I don't like most kids, you know, I don't broadcast that very often because I don't feel like that's a nice thing to say, but I don't really like kids, you know?
I mean, I don't like kids, but I think kids are good people. There's a difference.
I understand what you're saying. I see the innocence in children, and
once you get done with puberty, you're probably a little shit. But before then,
well, and that was really my thing. Was like I told her straight up because she was like, one of the first things she was like, "Why did you want to teach high school?"
You went mute on me. Muted.
Oh, that was an accident. Okay. But one of the first things that she said was like, "Why did you want to teach high school?" And I was like, "Well, I wanted to teach high school because I don't like kids that are younger than they can have at least a semi-intelligent conversation with me."
Yeah.
And she was like, "Well, are you ever going to have kids?" And I was like, "Yeah." And obviously now I have one, and it's like,
you'll be fine with your own kid. Doesn't mean you'll like any other kids.
Yeah.
Sometimes my kid tries me, if I'm being honest. But we work through that. I will say, okay, like 100% full disclosure, because I know like everybody in this chat, most of the people watching in the stream and everything have probably dealt to some degree with some kind of like mental something. Personally, like anxiety,
mostly
PTSD,
self-diagnosed. What?
Well, minor. Okay, so all the things I'm about to say are officially diagnosed: anxiety, depression, and
I'm not
PTSD.
talking about you.
Yeah.
Talking about all the cuties online that want their victim points.
Yeah, all my things are officially diagnosed. So I'm not just saying from lame perspectives, but I mean your perspectives or what have you. But PTSD, anxiety, depression, like there have been times where as a father, like I've had to walk away from my daughter and just tell my wife, like, I can't right now. Like I love her and I'm not trying to be this way, but I cannot do this right now. And to me, like coming into fatherhood, that was not something I ever expected. You know what I mean? Like that was something I always thought like was the ultimate weakness, to walk away from your kid. And then like I found myself in that position, and it's just like, how am I now looking at my kid and saying like I can't deal with her right now?
It's a tough one.
Yeah, it really is. And like to me, that was like when I say that things have been soul shaking in my life, like that was the first soul shaking moment that I had in my life where I was like, I'm looking at, I mean, Alan said in the chat, like, your kid is you. Like, yeah, my kid looks just like me. She acts like I did at her age. Like my kid, and she's only 3. And it was like, I looked at her one day though, and I was going through some stuff. It was while I was still with my old job, for anybody who knows like all that stuff. I'd went out to go to work. I had a nosebleed. I came home, and this was when like my job was like physically affecting me. And so I was going to work. I popped a nosebleed, called in, and like I came home, and I hit that point in a panic attack where it's like, literally like hands together on the steering wheel, where like driving home is all you can fucking do. Like you can't hear another noise. You can't like look outside, like in your peripherals or anything. Like focusing in and just getting home is all you can do. I get home, I come upstairs, I get in my living room, and my daughter, I just sat on the couch, and my wife, like, she knew me, knew like everything that was going on well enough to be like, no, I'm not gonna say anything to him. But my daughter was a kid, and so like she's jumping up and she's like trying to climb on me and play with me and everything, and I'm just like, I can't talk to you right now. Like, and that to me as a father was like the most soul shaking moment I ever had in my life, because I'm like, I can't be daddy right now. You know what I mean?
You need to have that minute.
Yeah. It ended up being a couple of hours, but yeah.
Well, figuratively speaking.
Wait till she's a teenager. That will be,
oh boy,
that will shake me.
destruction.
I actually feel like it'll be better when she's a teenager, though, because like I said, I mean, I taught high school. Like once she's a teenager, I know how to have those conversations. You know what I mean?
So, how would you feel? I'm going to change the topic here, just randomly.
Okay.
How would you feel? Because I'm about to go to bed, so I just want to kind of leave on a cryptic, weird ass note.
Sure.
How would you and all those watching feel about if you saw me doing like a EDM meets new metal meets dubstep, ridiculous screaming about "I fucking hate everyone" song?
I would like that. So here's what I'll say first. I don't feel like any artist should ever pop themselves into a box if they're capable or performing outside of that box.
I agree.
And one of my biggest frustrations is everybody finds their lane. They find the lane where they're safe, where they're comfortable, whatever. And they're like, okay, well, this is what I'm going to do. You know, I haven't talked about this. It's late. We have like 10 people viewing across 3 platforms. And so, you know, I feel pretty comfortable saying at midnight that, you know, I've been working on like my own EP that I want to put out this year. And it's not going to be like beats. It's not going to be like me as a producer. It's not going to be me as a rapper. It's not going to be me as, you know, a singer. It's going to be, I'm going to do different things that I do inside of the things that I do, you know? And it's just something I want to do for me. I don't want it to be one genre. I don't want it to feel confined. And I don't feel like anybody who's actually an artist who understands like what they do, their craft, their style, whatever the case. There are times I want to play the drums. There are times that I want to just sit on a drum pad and make a drum beat. There are times that I want to play the piano, you know. There are times, not that this is a piano, this is a fucking sad excuse for a piano, but there are times that I want to play the bass. There are times that I want to sing because I used to sing. I came up singing and doing like rock bands and stuff like that. I did way more rock and metal than I ever did rap, you know? And so for me, like boxes never exist. Boxes were a thing when I came back into music in about 2012 that everybody wanted to put themselves in, and I didn't enjoy it. But I think it would be dope. And apparently,
I remember when I started this whole conversation with you guys, I said my give zero fucks phase had begun.
Sure.
And in such a phase, do you think I would actually ask people what their opinion is?
No.
Unironically?
No. I'm sure it's coming. I mean, and that's the thing. Like, I would love to make dubstep. The only thing is I don't know how to make dubstep. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, I understand what dubstep is. I understand how to make dubstep. I've never done it. You know what I mean? From like a producer.
Theoretically, dubstep exists.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, like I you know, my dream instrument to this day, like the point where I will tell you guys that I have made it is when I own a Moog Voyager. And so like, like look it up. So like the day that I own a Moog Voyager will be the day that I am happy and feel as though I've made it to where my childhood dreams wanted to be. You know what I mean? And it's just MOOG because I saw the flash. You pulled up a window, a Moog Voyager. Like it's just an old ass fucking analog synthesizer.
Okay.
And but like my thing is like when dubstep started coming out and everybody was like, "Oh, this is trash." I'm like, "This is fucking amazing." Like, how do you not?
My life.
How do you listen to Skrillex and not enjoy this shit? Like what is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? But so like if you can do it. Like one of the things, what was it? The Korn did the album Path to Totality, I think it was.
So yeah, the dubstep one. Check your Instagram.
All right, I've actually got it pulled up over here.
Yeah, I never really got a chance to hear that album because my brother-in-law, he's a big time Korn fan, and he didn't like it.
This is a picture.
It is.
So it already exists, is what you're saying. Okay.
Ooh.
It exists. It's uploaded. It has a scheduled release.
Yeah. and I mean, I think it's dope. Like I said, so I mean, Jason was talking about like his brother was a Korn fan. Like I've seen Korn live 7 times. I've always enjoyed it. I saw him
I've
before.
only seen them once live.
I've seen them 7 times, and I enjoyed them all. But I'm also like Korn was like the first when I was 11 years old. Like Korn was the first band that I was like, yeah, this is my favorite band. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
After Aerosmith may have predated them, but anyway,
I have an idea of how I could troll everybody right before I leave.
Uh-oh.
Have we done this before? Is the question.
Troll everybody before I leave?
Well, in this particular way.
Yes, we have done this, you and I, Alpha. I would like for you and Jason and I to listen to this song together, but the chat cannot hear it.
So you're in my Discord, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Just to fuck with everybody.
If you can pull up my Discord real quick, I actually have like a really private room that can only host 3 people maximum.
Let's see where you are.
So if you go, you can't see it. Well, hang on a second. I'll give you a roll so that you can see it.
Where the fuck is your Discord?
It's forever away because you're in so many.
Is it the fucking alligator one?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that echo is just a nightmare. All right, let me give you this roll. There you go.
Where am I going?
It's a voice chat that will show up near the top, probably in the top 2.
Alpha Tuesday?
It's a small stream reaction.
There's one that says 0 out of 3 for Alpha Tuesday at the top. I don't see, and that one's got the lock on it, but I don't see small stream.
Let's see. I gave you the roll.
Well, usually it'll show me the room even if I don't have the roll. Just won't let me enter it. I just don't see the room.
Let's see. Let me just invite you. Because you have the roll.
I don't see it. I see hello.
Well, now you have an invite to the room.
It says joined is all it is. It just invited me to your server. And I'm like, well, I'm in the server. And yeah, the only thing I have is Alpha Tuesday.
Well, we can go up there then.
Yeah, that says it's locked in only 3 people anyway. Hello?
Yeah.
Shroomhead? What the fuck?
Do I have audio coming from my Discord? I do.
Let me mute myself. Wait, no, I can't mute myself on there. Then they can't hear me. Never mind. I'll mute my Discord mic. There we go. Mute your Discord mic, Jay.
Yes. That is the answer.
There we go.
Aerosmith may predate Korn, was what I was saying.
So let me go ahead and share. I'll just share a screen with you guys and share system audio.
Let me go down to brand because StreamYard has updated itself to try and play like things. And so I'm going to play you guys ambient music that says Feeding the Ducks. That's the title of this song.
And then mute us.
So that's all you're going to hear, guys.
They're not even going to hear us talking, are they?
No, they can hear us talking. It's just in case like headphones like bounce back into the mics or anything like that. Okay. They will only hear Feeding the Ducks.
But will they be able to... well, I can hear Feeding the Ducks.
You can... Well, you have my stream unmuted somewhere, though. If you're Feeding the Ducks. Oh, wait. That is playing for all of us. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I was going to say, I do not have
that is inconvenient. Feeding the Ducks is terrible.
Yeah, we don't need to listen to that. What I'm thinking is if they can hear your desktop audio, they'll hear whatever I play for you guys.
Well, they can't hear my desktop audio. They can only
then
hear
you're
our
fine.
3 mics. Yeah.
Then if your desktop audio is off, then we don't need to worry about it. Why am I hearing an echo? Did someone turn their Discord mic back
maybe
on?
Jason. There we go.
Keep that Discord mic the fuck off.
Jason has to completely mute himself because he doesn't have two microphones like I do.
Okay.
Actually, I have like.
Well, no, I just muted myself on Discord and left myself unmuted on StreamYard. It's not that hard. Jason, stop unmuting yourself on fucking Discord.
I'm a nerd, and so I have mics for different programs.
God damn it! Stay muted on Discord, you whore.
I am muted on Discord.
No, I was talking to Jason.
Oh.
Okay, are you guys ready?
Yes. Wait, did you say you were sharing a screen? Oh, I can watch this.
Yeah, you can see and hear it.
Lord.
You ready? Shit.
Oh, but I can hear my voice coming back through.
Hold on. There we go. I fixed it. It was trying to replay the stream. So we got an echo of Alpha. All right, here we go.
Alan, I know you'll be honest. If you start hearing this through the stream, say something. That was a troll.
He says, damn, that sounds good. I'm sure it does.
That was a troll.
Sounds so good.
It actually does, though. It's funny because he said it at the point.
You said it at a good time.
Yeah,
you did say it at a good time.
That was, I won't say why, but that was the point where my pause instinct would have kicked in and I would have been like, yes, this is what I want.
Yeah, and nothing's supposed to come through, gents. Unfortunately, you don't get to hear this. I know you liked that one. I knew you liked that line. So this was made like within 2 days of me hanging out with Matt and just deciding that I don't fucking care anymore.
I like it.
This is what came from that mindset.
I'm gonna stop
I'm
watching.
gonna leave the
stop
Discord
hearing.
thing.
Yes, I'm disconnecting as well. I like okay, so there are a lot of levels that I actually like that on. Haha, levels. That's all I'll say. I like it on multiple levels. Yeah, there were a lot of lines that I like. I also like the overall theme is strong because I catch in the video like points where things are being said while almost looking at other things that are saying other things.
God, that attempt.
I think you know what I mean.
Actually, I don't. You could go ahead and do some spoilers to just explain what the fuck you're saying.
Well, so I feel like there is a strong contrast, especially at the end, between what you're saying without a mask on versus what you're saying with a mask on, and kind of the tone that you're talking, almost like you're talking back and forth within your mind to yourself in those points between those personalities and those personas, if you will.
Okay.
You don't have to confirm it, but I know I'm right.
I'm still not fully sure exactly what lines you're talking about, and that's what I'm curious of.
Okay, I won't
Give
go
me
further.
one. Give me one.
It stood out to me very much that when you said there was a certain stance when you said that I hate you, and then there was a different perspective when you said that, but you need me.
Okay.
And maybe that was a happy accident.
I mean, nothing's that much of a happy accident, but I will say this song is not talking to myself.
Okay. And I don't think that the whole song was talking to yourself, but I'm saying I think that was a level, again, going back to layers and everything without like, you know, spoiling lines from the song or anything like that, but like looking at layers, you know, going into different layers. That felt like one in that.
There was definitely intentionality in some of the parts where there was mask or no mask, but I will say none of the lyrics are directed back to myself.
Okay.
As the masked or unmasked persona.
That's fair. It still manages to fit. Song. It still manages to fit.
There's reasons that I have the unmasked and masked version of myself saying certain things, but it's all external reasons.
Sure. And I think too, that's the problem. I think that's why I hate reacting to like songs from friends of mine, because I think like at a certain point you start thinking about like all the facets of them, and you're just like,
Oh, you overdo it sometimes trying to crack the code.
And it's like, okay, well, I know that you feel this way sometimes, and I know that you're here and there, and you're
there
like,
is one specific line in that song that started as a happy accident, but me leaving it in there turned it into deliberacy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I have an idea of what that line is because it stood out to me.
What line is it for you, Jason JV?
Am I allowed to specifically say what it is?
Sure. Let's see. Let's see which one.
I'll just say it like this. It's the something that has to do with the Bible.
Oh no, that one's fun. That was deliberate all the way through.
That was intentional for
that
days.
was intentional front to back.
I heard that and I was like, this is scheme. Hello.
No, there's one line that I wrote that wasn't intended when I wrote it as a double meaning. And then I realized it could be taken as a double meaning, so I almost took it out. But then I realized I liked the double meaning for the sake of the fact that it now becomes like a much more deep-seated double meaning. And I want to hold on. I'm gonna mute on here, and I want to tell you in that Alpha Tuesday chat, Tyler, because I have to spill the tea. Hold on. So let me mute myself here.
Well, I'm currently unmuted on both, but I'm muting myself back on Discord, so have at it. But you are still muted on Discord. Ah, yes. Yeah. Right. But I get it. Yep. But yeah, and not only that, and I won't say much because I'm still unmuted over on StreamYard, but there's also another vein there too, where it goes to a place where other people live.
So in any case, the layers, and that's one that I took off stream mostly because I don't think I'll ever really talk about that one.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it ruins my fun.
Yeah.
Because now that you understand all the layers to it, it's like, well, that would ruin the fun.
Well, that's great though. Like that's actually great.
That one's for me. That's for me. But I wanted to share it with a friend. That one's for me.
So,
but I have to have someone else appreciate, man.
Oh my god!
People act like they don't realize that how many layers there are to shit that oftentimes I don't ever talk about.
I have to share this and
thanks,
like,
Diesel Water.
Can you? No. Hey, yeah.
No.
Right, no. Look, just jump back in real quick.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna mute on StreamYard this time. Do me a favor, Jason. Keep everybody happy for a minute because I have to. I've already talked to you about this before. I don't care to fill you in later, but like, just entertain for a minute.
Man, I get to miss out on all the good stuff. All right, y'all. Let me go ahead and pull up the stream so I can read the chat. Okay, for some reason I cannot get the chat. What the hell? Oh, here we go. Oh, Bubba J, you probably will hear it someday. We'll see. And yeah, Jay, nobody likes spoilers, so I understand where you're coming from. Let's see here. What up, Desiree? Appreciate you showing some love. When he's home from milking the bull. That's facts, Namson. And Nappy, we got to talk later, definitely about some things. All right, Jay, what did you do in the Dig Sword? All right, Jay, you're gonna have to explain this photo because I don't know what the specifics in regards to this photo.
I'm back.
You're muted.
Oh.
Wait, no, you're not.
Oh,
I lied.
Okay.
I lied. I totally lied.
We were laughing about funny other things.
Yep.
Oh, I bet you were.
Happy accidents.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm going to go, guys. It's been fun.
Well, before
I
you
enjoyed
leave,
trolling the stream.
Do respect real quick Nampson jumping in saying he came for the handsome fellow with the facial hair.
Oh, so I'm assuming that is
that's me.
That's you.
I'm pretty sure it's me, but I mean, okay.
It's not me.
Like I said, Tyler, keep chasing the dream.
It can't be Scheme. I mean, if we were going like 1 to 3, like Scheme's clearly bottom tier here.
You wouldn't call me handsome. You would just have already came, and now you have post-nut clarity, and so you're just like, well, I got to get someone who's there for the long haul and call them handsome. Scheme's not a keeper. He's just he's a quick pump and dump. That fuck boy energy. So now that they came as soon as they saw me, they got that post-nut clarity, so they're going for the long haul, which is, the AlphaTylers and Jason JVs of the world. Makes sense.
That was strangely specific. Really specific.
I do appreciate that I'm next in the lineup, though. Like, let's be real. You got to have that break for a white boy before you get back to poor pale Hispanics, right?
Well, I'm going to go to bed. It's been fun trolling you guys. Jason and Alpha, I hope you enjoyed hearing something that doesn't exist, clearly.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the greatest thing I never heard.
I will make sure to never acknowledge this one like I did with the last song I heard that didn't exist. And I was like,
this one you'll see like actually decently soon, I would say. You'll see at least one other song released before this one.
Here's what I'll say. Last time was a fucking accident, okay? Because Ethic Maze makes this Twitter tweet. That's what they're called. He makes this tweet and he's like, who is a rapper who can go really well with pop punk vibes? And I'm like, bro, like Scheme pulled DK and 100 Koofies. I'm like, it was fire. And the Scheme's like, you haven't heard that song. I'm like, I haven't heard that song. I'm like, that song doesn't exist.
You won't have this one. Won't be as a secret that you have to keep as long. I'll put it that way because I mean, obviously, this one, obviously, unlike some of the demos you've heard, you saw that this one is cooked and ready.
Oh yeah, no, that's fantastic. I'm ready for it.
I anticipate no idea or care about the reception of it, which is kind of how I'm approaching every song I release from now on.
But that's great. Like, I feel like that's the point where people actually start making it when you actually start making it about you again. Because this is my philosophical side for a minute. Maybe
you enjoy that minute. I might watch from bed. Good night.
Watch from bed.
Okay,
because this is philosophical for a minute. But real talk, I feel like a lot of people start growing. Like they hit a point where they get a base. And they pull in, a little bit of support, and then they start worrying about cultivating the support. And I'm not talking like abstractly. I'm not talking about Scheme. I'm not talking about, anyone specifically. I'm talking about everyone in general. Mm-hmm. You hit that point of success where you start worrying about, okay, how do I get to the next level? And then the next level. And then, how do I get a billboard? How do I get 100K on YouTube? How do I get? And then that consumes so much of what you're doing, and you start losing focus of what actually brought like your core subscriber base to the fold anyway. And so I think you do, to a certain extent, have to just realize it's all fucking bullshit. If you dropped a song tomorrow saying fuck Joe Biden, like 100,000 people are going to watch it, and you'll get, 10% of that in new subscribers. but that's not you, and it's not part of your content, it's not part of your brand. And so you have to get back to the things at a certain point and say, fuck all this other distraction shit. This is who I am, this is what I do, and I don't really care how people feel about it.
Right. By the way, this is for Jay the Redneck, and if you go look in Discord photos, you'll see why.
I saw the picture. Yeah, that actually lined up too well.
I was like, shit, I didn't know I got a new tattoo. Like, damn, that's news to me.
Yeah. Your arm's looking a little more filled in lately.
I know, right? So anyway, we were going to talk about the YouTube beefs and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, specifically, I think last week when we were talking about what we could talk about on the show if we ran it, we were talking about, coming out with, a deep dive, kind of looking at Tom's Grizzy reaction. I think we all kind of got into Tom's Grizzy, not Grizzy reaction, Tom's Grizzy's Tom diss.
There you go.
Yeah, I think we kind of got into that though on Friday on Family Game Night in lieu of more games. But there are points, and like I said then, I don't like certain points of that song. I will say this, since Grizzy has dropped the Tom fan diss, I actually enjoyed that song as a diss track much more than the straight Tom diss.
Yeah. And I would agree, because I did actually listen to it, and I thought that was a far superior track compared to the Tom diss.
Yeah.
Because I felt like a lot of the tropes that he was hitting on, that in my book gives you an automatic L, and I think in regards what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I didn't really hear that in the fans diss.
Yeah, well, I think to me, I think I already called out my two biggest issues with it were laying that hard on like the if I was black, if I was white thing, flipping that. And even going in the direction of Nova. Now I will concede, like on the Nova piece, because I mean Scheme came in and he was like, it's really not the same. You do talk about people's girls sometimes, and going back re-listening to it, I was like, okay, we all loved Nova, but it was fair game to be like, hey, your girl, I would smash her past and then like move on, like and he didn't linger, he didn't say he did it, like nothing like that. But the race segment was still just a little bit of a hard line for me, just because, especially how much he's followed it up since, if you guys have watched any of the Instagram lives, with the artists and everything, kind of following it up the way that he did.
Yeah,
I get frustrated going back again, and this is something like I'm hesitant to really talk about on a live stream, just because it's not my place to really like focus in on it. But when you talk about hip hop, you are talking about a culture. You're not talking about the race behind hip hop. Hip hop was orchestrated by Hispanics. It was orchestrated by you can say African Americans, you can say Black Americans, whatever you choose to use. But I mean, it was Hispanics, it was Jamaicans, it was whatever, hip hop. But honestly, if you're saying, first of all, that you respect the culture of hip hop, but you don't perform with a DJ, and I don't know if Grizzy performs with a DJ. If you're saying you don't respect the culture of or that you respect the culture of hip hop, but you don't perform with the DJ, automatically you're not respecting the culture of hip hop. If you're saying that you respect the culture of hip hop, but you're ignoring that it was more than black people that created the culture of hip hop, you're not respecting the culture of hip hop. If you're pretending that like there aren't questionable words, things, what have you said in hip hop to cause shock value and so forth, then you're ignoring a significant portion of the culture of hip hop. And so there are follow-ups that I have issue with. Now I know Grizzy does the live streams. I do want to jump on and actually like have the conversation with Grizzy at some point.
Yeah.
Because by no means, I don't want anybody watching this, or, if Grizzy happens to catch a replay, I hope everybody understands. I'm not saying this to, say, oh, I'm talking all this shit, but I wouldn't have this conversation with Grizzy. I would have this conversation with Grizzy. I would love to have this conversation with Grizzy. Just because there's a disconnect. I feel like Grizzy and I are level-headed people. Even when Grizzy, a lot of people were feeling like Grizzy was getting too upset about comments over his diss tracks and everything. I even pointed out then, Grizzy is always down to take self-criticism, and Grizzy is always down to have a conversation. And if you don't think that he is, then you don't know Grizzy. And that's the thing. Do I disagree with these things? Yeah. Is it most likely that Grizzy and I would have a conversation and walk away still disagreeing? Yeah. Because we're different people. We come from different places. But that said, I don't really agree with that angle from Grizzy's perspective.
Right. It was like you said. I mean,
sorry, that's my spiel. I've been thinking about this a lot, and so that's just my whole word vomit on how I feel about the whole thing.
My whole thing though, in regards to the whole hip hop culture, is that I feel like if we're not going to acknowledge everyone that was involved, in the conception of hip hop, inception of hip hop. I'm sorry, for lack of a better term, but then I mean, I'm sorry, but then you kind of don't have room to be talking about it, because you're only looking at it's black music or whatever. No, hip hop wasn't just black music. There was other people involved, like you said. There was also whites involved. There was Hispanics involved. You know what I mean? It was, and it's always been this thing that anybody and everybody can be a part of it. It didn't matter who you are, what you look like, and where you come from. If you're with it, you're with it. You're not, you're not. Whatever.
To me, every genre of music has its hallmark. You know what I'm saying? Rock and like the what we would call classic rock now has the peace and love, and then the hair metal has sex, drugs, and rock and roll and all that stuff. Music always has a hallmark. And to me, hip hop's hallmark, what makes hip hop so beautiful is it's about equality. Hip hop is what America is. America is a melting pot for the rest of the world. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Facts.
Yeah, and it's not about black culture. It's not about white culture. It's not about Latino culture. It's about the struggle and the come up. It's about fighting against the power. And the thing is, when you look at what hip hop stands for, there's no difference between a white dude who grew up in a cornfield around meth labs and all this stuff. And if you guys have been in Discord, you've heard my in-depth thoughts on this, but I'll leave it here. There's no difference between a white dude who grew up in a cornfield around meth labs and stuff than there is than a black dude who grew up, in the inner city around that life. And when you look at, when you mesh it together, it's both a struggle. You both start out with shit. You start out with nothing, poverty, absolute nothing. It's to come up. It's fighting the system, fighting the power, fighting the powers that be, the people that be. And when we get to the point, really respecting the culture of hip hop is about the struggle and the come up.
Yes. And it doesn't matter. Again, it doesn't matter who you are, what you look like. Everyone, there's always a great amount of people in every community that has gone through, the similar, if not the exact same type of struggle.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, man. If you've struggled, if you went from nothing to something, you've been through that struggle. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Are there a lot of people in hip hop who've never struggled, who've never been through that grind, who've never really understood, falling the wrong way, going the wrong path? Sure. I don't think there's very many of them. I think most people in hip hop culture, honestly, have been drawn to the culture because most people who truly respect hip hop. But when I say respect hip hop, I'm not saying respect hip hop from the scenario of saying you got to grow up in the inner city. I'm saying respect hip hop from the perspective of respect what hip hop is, where it came from, the actual movement,
Right, because the OGs, they'll tell you, the early days of hip hop, mostly what they were rapping about back then were their stories of how they struggled, you know what I mean? And it didn't matter if it was the inner city or anywhere else. And then when they weren't talking about that, then they were talking about unity. They were preaching unity for everybody. You know what I mean?
It's literally, you can't find anywhere that it's not. You go back to Immortal Technique, go back to NWA, go back to those giants. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Go back to Outcasts in the beginning, Aliens. You know what I'm saying? Like, go back to anything. Go back to Sugar Hill Gang. You know what I'm saying? Sugar Hill Gang is still about unity and shit. Like, I'm sorry, man. Hip hop is what it is. Don't make it what it ain't. Like, don't let that be something that divides us now.
Right, because look, like real talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how NWA, they talked about how they were being harassed by police and all that and everything. Never in a million years would I ever imagine myself being able to relate to a degree of what they had to deal with when running into police. I've been pulled over many a times, and I managed to get out of those situations, you know, without a scratch. And why is that? Because, I mean, some of us, let's say some of us know how to handle ourselves when it comes to dealing with police.
Well, let me say my interactions with police have not been as lovely as yours, so I'm jealous. But that said, I played some dumb games. Like, both of the times that I've been arrested, I played really fucking stupid games and didn't want to be, you know, the guy who was being arrested that night, regardless of what I was doing wrong. And so, like, that's the thing people don't see. It's like, bro, I fit a profile. If you come to Southeast Kentucky, like, this is not the peaceful profile. You know what I mean? Like, this is not
I feel you.
Businessman. This is not the, you know, whatever. And so, like who are cops gonna fuck with? Me or some clean cut dude that you know, maybe has a different shade of color than me?
Right.
I mean, the fact is, they're gonna fuck with me.
Right. And fun fact, there's been times when I've been pulled over by a police officer that, minus the beard, look like AlphaTyler. There's been police officers that look like me that pulled me over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't get this whole like race thing when it comes to, you know, between cops and citizens and stuff, because like I said, I've been pulled over by various police officers. So spare me that noise.
I will say I've been pulled over and harassed by police officers of multiple ethnicities. I've only ever been tased by police officers who were white. So where's the headline? But no, like that's halfway a joke, you know, like that's not fully fair to say, because that again, you know, pushes more diversity. I'm not trying to push more diversity by saying that, but you know, it is really a fact. Like, the only police officers who have tased me, you know, beat the shit out of me, like pounded my thighs, like actually punched me, tried to, you know, put me in headlocks, tried to choke me out, all that stuff have been white dudes. It was only one time, but there were 3 of them, so I feel like that's significant.
Careful there, Ty. You're getting to some OnlyFans territory there.
but I'm saying, you know, like it's there's so much more that goes into this than what we're gonna see in the headlines. There's so much more that goes into this than what we're gonna get from just a cursory glance at the facts. But the way that I feel like we get past racial tension, the way that I feel like we get to a point where, you know, people actually live together, is when we're willing to actually live together and stop with all the bullshit, stop with all the stuff that says, you know, you've got to be the same color than me, or you know, we've got to get on X, Y, and Z level. Like, it don't matter. Like, just fucking treat people the same. Treat people how you want to be treated. You know what I mean?
Right. And I'm sick and tired of the talk about how certain communities have it worse than others. And maybe there are very few cases where that could be the case. But I mean, but majority wise, I mean, come on. We all have equal opportunities to get ourselves into a better position than wherever we may be at this point in time. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's really no excuse. When our president at one point was a black president, I mean, there is legit no excuse as to why you can't reach an upper level, regardless of who you are and what you look like.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm not saying it's not hard.
Right.
I'm just saying it's not impossible. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but that, you know, that is what it is there. I want to see people actually treat and believe that each other are equal. Like just be equal. You know, be the
exactly
same.
fair across the board. You know, don't have to worry about being canceled regardless of who you are, what you look like. You know what I mean? Everyone be able to allow to say whatever they want to say.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like I'm not even, you know, do I believe that it's within my right to say any word that I can pronounce? Yeah, it is within my legal right. Am I going to? No, I'm not going to come on here, you know, dropping N bombs or you know, whatever else, just because that's not how I choose to conduct myself. Do I think that? Do I think it needs to be a fight if I said it? No, but you know, the thing is, I don't feel like that word belongs in anybody's language. If we want to be real talk, if we want to pay deference to the history of things, like words like that, you know, other slang terms. I'm not going to go through the whole list, but I mean all the terms that you can really think of for any other ethnic group that could fall into that category. Why does anybody want to cling on to that negativity?
Right. I've always said too, like, if you don't like people using this word that you're trying to claim as yours, and you're trying to put like a positive meaning behind it, but yet for some reason, even if they say it the way that you would say it, that you would prefer, but yet it still bothers you, well, then why don't you abolish that word from your language? So that way you can have the argument like, hey, we don't call each other that. So what makes you think we're going to let you get away with that?
Well, and that's where I go back to saying, you know what? Just it don't even need to be like that. It needs to be like, let's do away with it. It's like, okay, if I don't want my daughter to say fuck, right?
Right.
What do?
Stop saying it.
Stop saying it around her. She never learns it. She never takes it as part of conversation. She never picks up. It never becomes a habit. I teach her that it's wrong, and I don't use it in front of her, right?
Right.
Now, is there a time and place where I might use it? Maybe, but that's irrelevant. If I want to get rid of the word fuck, if we really want to get rid of that word and we want to look at it as the F word, we want to look at it as something that we're done with. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What do? You remove it from your life. It adds nothing to your life. What does it add to your life? Can I say that it's more empowering for me to look at you and say, fuck you, Jason? Fuck you. Like, is that more empowering? Sure. Maybe it makes me seem for a minute like I've got the higher ground or something. You know what I mean? But is it actually more empowering? No. It's just an added facet. And if it's something I don't want in my life, I remove it.
Exactly. I can get on board with that.
Never thought of anyone in my life as lesser than me, may have had it better than me or worse than me, more or less human than me. We've tried the hate and division too long. Exactly. That's the thing. And until we all get to that mindset where you're not better, you're not worse. We're humans. We're doing human our way. And you might be right about some things. I might be right about some things. Let's do human. You know what I mean? Give love and peace and goodwill a chance. Absolutely. No point in human history have we just said, you know what? Stop with all the bullshit. Let's just give this a chance for a minute.
Right.
And I think it is time.
And I'll go down to something that you and I always preach about when it comes to disagreements. Like, it's okay for us to not always agree on things, but at the end of the day, let's remember who we are to each other. If I call you friend, fam, whatever the case, but even though we don't always agree on everything, that doesn't change the fact that you're my friend or you're my fam. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and like, that's another piece of it. I see Jay in the chat. He says not to use derogatory words for anyone. That's what I'm saying. Like there's a real difference in culture right now. It's like, bro, for me growing up, like, son of a bitch was actually like a negative thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you call me a son of a bitch right now because of the culture that we have, it's like, oh, well, he called me a son of a bitch, whatever. But like growing up, I was thought, okay, if somebody calls you a son of a bitch, like, that's negative. Like, they're talking down on you. Like, you know, respond. Don't use that unless it's actually somebody that you're mad at. I'll say for me, my use of cuss words, whatever, when I joined the army, that was when it changed because it was everywhere in the military. But before then, it was like, okay, these words are harsh. They have their places. You know what? And if you're in a place where you feel like this is where you want to use them, like call somebody a bastard, like you better be ready to fight, you know?
Oh yeah.
Call a woman a bitch, like that's negative. But
Right.
again, going to how we use the words, we've desensitized ourselves so much to those words, because now it's like, if you call a woman a bitch, it's like, no, well, that's just passing. Like, that's not a big deal. But it's like, bro, like that is a big deal. You know what I'm saying?
Like I've been called an asshole so many times. It's like,
yeah,
I don't care. Doesn't bother me.
I agree with that too, Holly. I literally at Christmas, like I use it to reflect on the birth of Christ with my kid and my wife. But you know, for the Christmas spirit, like we don't do like the big showy stuff. Obviously, we do a Christmas tree and all that stuff because I mean, like, you know, it's a snowy season. It looks right with a Christmas tree, but it's like, you know, we don't get into like the holiday worship. That was one thing, you know, we talked about last year, like limiting gifts and everything, just because we're not trying to spoil our child or anything like that, and all this stuff. And but that's the thing, like, yeah. And I recognized, I think last November was when I recognized, like, why am I donating to the homeless shelter that is literally a mile and a half down the road from me? Why am I only donating to them between November and January? Why am I not just giving them what I can, like here and there, buying a food bag and taking it over throughout the rest of the year? Like, why in the fuck does it have to be after Thanksgiving and before New Year for me to go and buy a food bag for the homeless shelter that I live a mile and a half away from? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Absolutely. Not. Yeah, it should be a whole year-round thing. You know what I mean? Whenever you have. Yeah. No, I feel that 100%. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean,
it's literally the grocery store that I shop at. I walk out of there. I can walk straight, turn down the road. The next right after I cross the train tracks, the next right is a homeless shelter. Why am I only buying a $5 or $10 bag when I go to the store between those days? Was the question that I asked myself. And that was when I really put everything into context. What Holly's talking about, why do we confine ourselves to that Christmas spirit only during the Christmas season, instead of just all the time saying, you know what, I got $5 extra bucks. Here's a bag of food for somebody that needs it. Why not? Like, if you got $5 extra bucks, buy somebody a fucking bag of food.
For real.
And literally, there's no downside. Like, you buy a bag of food, it's not like they're getting beer with it. And honestly, you know, shout out to Simple. When we were in Florida, like, dude was like, or no, Simple gave the dude his food. Somebody, I'm trying to remember, somebody I was rolling with. Either way, it's always been my policy too. If somebody's standing out with the sign and they're real about it, like, nah, man, if you give me $5, I'm gonna buy a beer. I'm like, cool. You know what? Maybe you need a beer today. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe that homeless dude needs to go get a beer. Stop dogging on people because they're gonna take your $5 and go buy a tall boy. Like, sometimes they like. I get it. It's not a priority, but fuck, man. Like, tell me you don't want a beer after you've had a long day. You know how stressful it is not to have a fucking house?
Fuck. And it doesn't even have to be stuff like that. Like anytime you have an opportunity to, you know, do a good deed, man, just do it. Just do it because you know deep down in your heart of hearts, it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. We have to change the narrative, though, on what Holly said right there. We have to change the narrative of who we're getting the news from, man. News needs to be real and real talk. Like, we've given so much power to sensationalism in the news, and that's the problem. The problem is not CNN, Fox, MSNBC, all these things. The problem is news is dictated by views. What gets the most views? What gets them attention? Gets them ad revenue? Gets them paid? That's what dictates our news cycle. And that's the problem. It's not the people in charge. It really is not. It is not the news networks. It's not their anchors. It's not their hosts, their co-hosts, whatever. The problem is we're watching all these fucking people that are being dictated, just like we are on YouTube. If we put ourselves in a bubble, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And say, oh, well, I'm not going to say this because I'm afraid of getting in trouble. Just like we are here, they're curtailing themselves to what actually gets ad revenue and all this stuff. And the problem is we've sensationalized what gets the most views, that is the most receptive, that is the most poppin', that pulls in and keeps people watching, retention and all those other, hot topics that you're looking at when you're looking at what drives views.
Right.
That's the problem, though. That's how we're being geared to work, and we've got to stop, man. It's got to be about being real. We've got to actually care about validity in human beings. We've got to care about validity in the actual story. And exactly, negativity and fear get the most views, and that's the problem. That's what has fucked our news cycle. Nobody wants to see about this dude who had an abundance of crop yield. You know what I mean? And so he gave it out to his small community. Everybody wants to see what's negative and what's hateful and what's divisive and what me and you can yell at each other over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because drama sells.
Yeah, it does.
That's what it is. The drama, the negativity. People want to see that because it sells.
Yep.
And that's what's messed up. It's not just the news. I mean, it's on platforms like this. For those of us who, are just trying to come up the honorable way by avoiding, conflict, avoiding the drama, and just doing something that we think is cool, it's positive and everything, but nobody wants to see anything that's cool and positive, even though some may say, oh yeah, that's what we want, but are they really there for it?
Exactly. See, Geminator's just here for when he gets to jump in. He don't care about the conversation that happens up until that point. Geminator just wants to jump in.
Yeah, he don't care.
I tried to stay as straight faced as I could, but I mean, real talk. Like literally, it's about what hits my interest right now. It's not about what is going to be something that fosters something bigger. It's about what hits my interest in the moment. What gets my satisfaction in the moment. You know what I mean?
Yep. Facts.
Hot topic. When are we going to stop schools being gun-free zones and fucking protect the children? No, absolutely. That's something I've been talking about for a long time, man. All a gun-free zone is a sign that no one there is safe to me. Like, to me, I have zero interest in being in an area. I have a concealed carry license. Honestly, if I'm on private property and you don't specifically ask me not to carry my gun in, it doesn't matter what sign you have posted. If it's private property, not government property, I'm not talking about schools or anything, just so the FBI don't see this and start throwing a tizzy. But I'm saying like privately owned property, your sign doesn't matter. The fact is, if you haven't asked me specifically if I'm carrying, whatever the case, if you haven't asked me to leave, I can carry legally. The thing is, everywhere, constitutionally, everywhere should be like that. Listen, you are safer. Here's what I'm going to tell everybody. You are safer for the fact that I have a gun with me wherever we are at together than you would be if I didn't.
Yep.
I'm a good shot. I have good morals, and I'm going to protect you against a threat. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, I would feel safe if I was with you.
Yeah. And that's where I'm going at. And so, like, what is the downside? How many times? Okay, I'm 31 years old. I've been shooting guns since I was, I don't know, 3. Let's say. I really don't know. Literally all my life, I can remember shooting guns. And so that's the thing, the point that it comes back to is, how many times I've accidentally shot a gun? 0. You know how many times I've had a round accidentally cook off that I didn't know was going to come out of the gun? 0. I've never had a mishap with a gun. I'm not saying like people don't. But here's the thing. I was educated on how guns work. I was educated, first of all, your gun should never be pointing at anything that you are not willing to kill. So right off the bat, first of all, rule number 1, baby. If your gun is never pointed at something that you are not willing to kill, guess what? You cannot possibly kill something with your gun.
Facts.
Second, finger never on the trigger. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're actually ready to engage and go.
Right. So, unless you're actually prepared.
That gun cannot fire unless that finger is in there. Now, you'll hear about things, rounds being hot, and so they cook off a round or whatever. It goes through, you have a negligent discharge, so on and so forth. Okay, but if it's not pointing at something you're not willing to kill, that doesn't matter. Yeah, that's a big oopsie.
Yeah.
Cognizance of what is beyond your target, cognizance of muzzle awareness, trigger safety. Literally, I remember I had a high school teacher, we started talking when I first joined the Army, and he started talking to me early on. He talked about opportunity, ability, and justification. Anytime that you're going to engage something with a firearm, you have to look at, do you have the opportunity to do so? Yes or no? Do you have the ability to do so? Yes or no? So the ability, do I have the ability? Yes or no? That's pretty straightforward. Do I have the opportunity to do so? Yes or no? Is your back turned? Are you not paying attention? So on and so forth. Can I make this happen? Yes or no? Do I have a justification to do so? Is there a reason? Mindful of all the consequences that are going to follow, mindful of the investigation, mindful of so on and so forth. Afterward, is there a justification for me to pull that trigger? If you understand proper firearm safety and you understand ability, opportunity, and justification, there is zero chance that you're going to end up in a situation related to firearms that you are not ready and willing to endure.
And I can't believe that these politicians are still trying to push that narrative, like, oh, video games are a negative influence and everything. Like, look, I'm a gamer, and I don't get offended by much, but I get offended when they talk like that, because here's the thing. Okay, I play crime games. Like, obviously, I've been playing the Saints Row series, for my second channel. Shameless plug, by the way, JJV-TV. Please subscribe. But anyway, if video games are a negative influence on gamers, as a whole, as these politicians like claim that they are, I should have shot somebody already then in real life. But here's the thing, though. I can tell the difference between how real life works, how the real world works, versus how video game logic works. In the real world, hello, there's no freaking reset button. Once you kill somebody, that's it. They're gone. They're not coming back. In a video game, I can reset. I can start a new file, and those characters are going to come back.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
So miss me with, video games are the reason why people are killing people.
Here's the thing. If a video game alters your perception of reality, you have an underlying mental condition already.
Yeah.
Period. And I'm not saying that that's never the case for anyone, but that is not the case for the majority.
Right.
To Holly's point, I think he's talking about child trafficking here. But yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. Here's the topic for you. I did the research. 6.1 million Americans just vanished over the last 10 years. Why don't we hear about that? But we hear about 1 million dying in the last 3. It's because of that political narrative. It's about control. And here's the thing. A lot of people don't want to acknowledge, and I will 100% keep saying, what we went through for the past 3 years, live on Facebook. Hello, Facebook fact checkers. A lot of what we went through, just people trafficking in general. Well, yeah, it was, and exactly, yeah. A lot of what we went through in the last 3 years was about control. It was not meant to give the government control. It was a test run. And it's like I told a lot of people when I would have the conversation early on, a lot of people were saying, oh, well, this is the mark of the beast. Could this be the mark of the beast? Is this the mark of the beast? No. But I think it's a test run. I think it's a test to see how much are we willing to surrender? How much are we willing to give up to the government? What are we willing to do for the government? What are we willing to let the government decide on our behalf and for us to say, these are the powers we will give you to keep us safe? And so, why do we hear about the 1 million over the past 3 years? Because that's more advantageous to putting the government where the government wants to be in that situation. The fact is, if you show the government that they're out of control, they can't protect our children. They can't protect women walking at Walmart. When we talk about human trafficking, I'm glad Holly actually corrected me to say not just child trafficking, but human trafficking. When we talk about human trafficking, my hometown, like my literally the city that I live in, the Walmart here in town spiked interest a few years ago because it was noticed that it was a hard target for human trafficking. Well, shortly after that, my wife hit a situation where somebody was following her around Walmart And, you know, she was uncomfortable. And so she talked to a worker and she walked around the store with them mindful of where she was until I came to get her from the store. Not saying you have to have a man to protect you, ladies, but I am saying that was a situation that she was comfortable leaving in. When you go back to, you know, what are we really looking at with all this? Well, we ignore the fact that even somebody can be walking in broad daylight in a populated area in a large commercial store and be a victim of trafficking. And there's nothing our government can do about that.
They want to take our guns, but then they don't want to do anything about this trafficking issue. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay. We see where your priorities are.
Don't give a shit. We don't care about the things they want us to hear about. Exactly. And again, we jump on it and we eat it like little algae eaters, little bottom feeders.
Yep.
We just eat all the shit right up, and then we suck on whatever they're feeding us, and it gives them views, and it fuels the cycle again and again. Someone would have gave a damn and talked to the kid. It may not have happened. Yeah, and that's the crazy thing. Like the kid, there were so many warning signs. Like he crashed his truck into a ditch.
Yeah.
You don't stop this guy from coming onto the school with a he had what, an AR and a pistol. You don't stop this guy from coming to the school. You say, no, you can't have a rifle here. We have gun-free zones. Enforce them. You know what I'm saying? What are you doing?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I mean, me and Jay, we had a conversation about this, and I go, you know, in Columbine, you know how they like to bring up the Columbine shooting, but there's always one little detail they always seem to leave out very conveniently, and that is the fact that some of the students were actually let go. You know what I mean? Like they let them go, and why was that? Because they made a connection with they made a connection with the shooters. They were friendly with the shooters, and so because they were friendly with the shooter decided to spare them.
Oh yeah, well, and that's the problem when we talk about things like keeping guns accessible, but using common sense. We have to talk about accountability. We have to make people actually accountable for what they do.
Yeah,
and that is truly what people are afraid of. People are afraid of the fact you bullied an 18-year-old kid. He went off the fucking rails and did some shit that was horrendous. But you know what? By no account that I've seen was his life great growing up. I'm not saying that justifies it, but I am saying there were warning signs. Why did nobody care enough to step in? Why did nobody care enough to step in until it was a mass tragedy? And I do appreciate, shout out to you, Tilly, because I do always appreciate somebody pointing out you need a man to protect you from other men. I agree on traditional gender roles. I agree that I'm the protector of my wife 100%. I'll never try to push that on somebody else. You know what? If you are a woman and you want to be an independent woman and you want to say that you don't need men in your life, so on and so forth, live that way. I don't care. That doesn't impact my household. I am my wife's protector. I don't care if you are aggressing my wife, you are going to deal with me as a man. You are going to 100% deal with me, whether it's that you want to grab her, whether it's you want to stalk her, so on and so forth. Regardless of how that situation ends, you will deal with me over that situation. And that's the thing. Like, we're afraid to say that today. I guarantee you my wife has zero issue saying that. Some people still appreciate that there are traditional roles for men and women in the world today. You know, it's just like, you know, for my daughter, my wife is the tender, loving, nurturing. Naturally, guess what? Women are that person. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with the fact that my daughter looks to my wife when she's sad or has an owie or something first, because that's what mothers are meant to be.
Yes.
And that's not wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not a dick. I'm not a toxic man because that's how it comes across. That's just how we as humans came about, you know?
Right. It's always been that way. You know what I mean? When you're a kid, when you got hurt, you want your mommy.
Yep.
That's the natural instinct.
People are so scared of everyone. It sickens me. We should be aware of our surroundings and help people. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Talking about brainwave transmissions from space, controlling the shoot. Well, I don't know about all that, Diesel Water, but damn. How does one enforce a no gun zone to someone with a gun? No, 100%. Like it's fucking stupid. Points and gunman. You can't have that here. Exactly. And then the guy with the gun is going to do what he wants.
Yep. You're basically at his mercy at that point.
Shout out to my wife for being a weak-willed woman, not a feminist. Shame on you. Everyone shame her in the chat if you would. Nobody take that seriously. I tried to protect the innocent, be a child, woman, or even a man that was weaker than others. Absolutely. That's. I was raised that's what you do. That's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
You know, if you see a kid in a wheelchair, what do? Do you jump in with everybody else making fun of him because his legs don't work? Or do you take up for him? Rather watch you shame her. That's the OnlyFans content, though.
or the only alpha.
Sad thing, like I don't know, my male hubris probably won't let me make an OnlyFans because I'm just like, everybody would only be paying to see her. Nobody wants to see this guy. But that's fine. You know what? I'm content knowing that.
I'm pretty sure there were plenty of people that were oogling at your calendar picture. I'm just saying.
Here's my question. Why does everybody look at that as such an insult? Because I've had that said to me. It's like, oh, well, your wife's way prettier than you, or you know, you rose harder. It's like, is that an insult though? Like, let's say I'm a 2. I don't think that I'm a 2, but you know what? Let's say that I'm a 2. And let's say that my wife is an 8. And I move from a 2 to an 8. I marry an 8 as a 2. Am I really the one who needs to be ashamed in this situation?
Not really, no.
Like, what do I have to feel bad about here? I've only...
If anything, Sierra should be feeling all the shame.
Sierra, you know for a fact, I do not believe that 10s exist in the world, so you're not a 10. I'll give you a 9.5 for me. But I'm saying, like, let's say the world sees you as an 8. Let's say the world sees you as an 8. Just real talk. And let's say the world sees me as a 2. Again, I don't think I'm a 2. I don't think that you're an 8. But let's be real.
Let's take a poll in the chat real quick. How many of y'all think that Tyler will not be cleaning any pipes tonight?
Oh, if I want to clean the pipes, I will clean the pipes tonight. Let's see, you got to making the best reaction channel ever on Pornhub. Gonna go around and do live blowjob reactions in different sex touristy countries. That's fantastic, though,
bro.
Like, that's pioneering.
Mm-hmm.
Jiminator, he'd watch OnlyFans. Well, yeah, Jiminator. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's pretty much a given, Jay. We did not need to hear that.
You don't try to appeal to your lowest common denominator, though.
Yeah.
Pops are closed. Yeah, we know how to get them open. A man never needs a woman for that. We have 2 hands and a very active imagination. There we go.
True.
At the end of the day, there are a lot of things in this world that look like a vagina.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, to the other part of this conversation, just because you and I haven't like talked a ton since I got it in the other day, I got something in the mail the other day I want to show you real quick.
Oh, let's go.
I got a sweet deal on it too, and you're gonna appreciate it.
Is it something very magical that relates to some ninjas?
Oh yeah, I showed you. Like I told you about it when I first bought it.
Yeah, you texted
it
me.
Came in, and for something that was made in what 2004, 2005, like this is in phenomenal shape now. Look at this. Check this out.
Dude, let's go. Let's go.
Box is in good shape. You know, we looking good all around, sealed and all
jealous.
that.
I'm jealous.
Literally bought it for half of what it posts for aftermarket right now. You know what I mean?
Magic Ninja, what? Magic Ninja, what?
Bro, I was so pumped. I was so pumped about it. It's dope.
Shit, I'd be too. I would be too.
What did I jump into here? Not a vagina. Those are closed tonight.
Yeah. And so are Tyler's pipes.
I'm sure Alpha knows the combination to yourself. Oh, listen.
Right.
There are no locks on that lady. She can play all she wants to. She's afraid to come down here because she would have to actually defend what she's saying. And while she might be able to talk a good game, man, listen. What's this shit? What email did you just send me? Are you sending me all kinds of videos from August of last year?
All of a sudden, 8.5 hours later.
Oh, she's sending me clips from the Freedom Fest last year.
Oh,
that was a burden.
Nice.
Yeah, they're just blowing up on my phone.
Watch like tomorrow or the next day. You're in the Discord chat with us. Like, damn it, I actually didn't get any last night.
No, that won't be accurate. What up, Kat? How you doing?
What up,
Kat? The cut is closed. The cut is not closed, Roxy. The cut is not closed. Straight out the cut. Crazy motherfucking name.
The cut is closed.
Let's see. Alpha at bedtime. To the left, 3 to the right, 29 to the left. Bingo, baby. Now you got to double up on that one left. You know what I'm saying? Like there's always a double turn in there somewhere. Hi, Kat. We're talking about getting skins.
Mm-hmm. What you sipping on over there? Is that Tito's?
Yeah, Tito's. Right. It's always Tito's, dog.
It seems to be the popular drink nowadays, man. Because I know there's another tuber. You know what I mean?
Vodka's just easy. Like I like bourbon more, but like vodka's just easy because like it has no flavor. It really tastes like whatever you drink after it. You know what I'm saying? Or it just tastes like nothing.
Morning?
Huh?
Is it easy like Sunday morning?
Yeah. I mean, legit. Like vodka tastes like whatever you mix it with, or whatever you chase it with, or whatever else is going on in your mouth. You know,
just has a kick to it.
Yeah. And so it's like vodka's easy, and so I'm always like, you know, where I just go, it's just easier to be like, you know what? Let's just get like a fifth of Tito's. And on top of that, it is vodka for dog lovers. If you guys don't know, if you love dogs, they do the most for rescuing dogs and stuff like that in the world. So they actually put like a really solid percentage of their revenue into rescuing animals, which if you don't know, all of my animals are rescues. And so that is something that actually matters to me.
You ever make Raging Bulls with Tito's?
What's a Raging Bull? I don't know. Maybe
Red Bull and vodka.
Oh, nah, I'm not that simple, man. Like, I've got like a full bar, all the barware, appliances. Like when I start mixing drinks, it's a fucking chemistry lab, dog.
Nice.
Let's see. That beard knows how to get my pops open. See what I mean?
Oh, it's the whiskers. The whiskers that do it.
Top 5 alcohols. Oh, shit. Okay.
E-hole.
Huh?
I said E-hole.
So you ready? What is that?
Híjole. Spanish for like damn.
Oh. You got a top 5 liquors?
Top 5 liquors? Not really. I can give you top 5 beers.
Well, that's the second question. We got to talk about like alcohol first, liquor. Maybe. I mean, I'll go easy on you because I don't think you drink as much as I do, and so like I'll give you like
liquor. No, I don't drink as much liquor as I do beer.
Okay, so what about like top 5 types of liquor for you?
My go-to is like vodka, and with vodka, it's like I don't really have a preference.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm not really a liquor drinker as much as I am a beer drinker.
I mean, that makes sense. Like most vodka really tastes the same if you're being honest. So.
Yeah.
For me, then we'll jump into the beer conversation in just a second. For me, top 5 liquors, definitely number 1 is gonna have to be Booker's bourbon. If you guys ever get a chance to try Booker's, it's fantastic. It is it's extremely small batch. It's made at the Jim Beam distillery. I don't even know if it's made outside of Kentucky. Every bottle is individually numbered. It's about 125 proof. So bring your big boy pants if you're going to get some of it. But it is meant to be drank with water. It is meant to either have water diluted or to be chased immediately with water. So if you ever do get to happen upon a bottle of Booker's, don't drink it like a Neanderthal. It's all nice. It comes in like the nice little up inside the wooden box with the glass case.
Oh, then I know what you're talking about then.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Easily number 1. Number 2 is probably Wild Turkey Rare Breed. Just because it's also fantastic, about $150 a bottle. The only reason it is not my number 1 spot is because when I got my DUI, I was drinking that, and like that was just a bad night. So bad memories. After that, I would have to say, and this is terrible. If you guys follow me on fucking what's it called, TikTok, you'll know that at one point I didn't even know this existed not too long ago. But like the mango habanero Old Smoky whiskey, that shit has grown on me so much. Like that is my fucking jam. I've got to give that, like, that is an everyday drink for me. Like that is the shit. Unfortunately, that started making my shit water because it's fucking habanero, and I was like ingesting that, a lot.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that lit your ass on fire too.
I'd say Tito's probably next, just because, like I said, vodka, you can't go wrong with Tito's, or you can't go wrong with vodka, and Tito's is my favorite vodka. Number 5, I want to give to something that really deserves it. My top 3 were bourbon, so I don't want to put like a bourbon in there. I don't want to do whiskey at all because my top 3 are bourbon. And so shout out to Monkey Shoulder, which is my favorite scotch. And so I guess like I would have to look then at Jaeger as a standalone drink, or gin, as like a solid mixer. I really enjoy both of those. I like martinis a lot. Especially like if you do a Gibson variant on a martini, like take a toothpick and put a pickled onion on it. What's that?
Fancy.
Oh yeah. No, I like martinis a lot, and so I guess gin's got to go in that 5th spot. If I had to give one, I can't remember the name of it. I keep the bottle just so I always know what it is when I go to buy one. But there's one that's actually made here in Kentucky that would be my 5th spot, but I can't remember its name right now.
Okay.
All right, extremely long answer to a very short question.
I was about to say.
Top 5 beers. I'll let you take the lead since I've talked for an hour.
All right, top 5 beers. I would have to say for number 5, I would have to put Fat Tire up there.
Fat Tire is really good. You know where Fat Tire is brewed, right?
I honestly, I don't remember.
Lexington, Kentucky, about 2 hours north of me, 2.5 hours north of me on I-75.
Ah, so no wonder you're giving such high praise. I should have seen that coming. Anyway, for my number 4, I would have to say Heineken. I do enjoy Heineken.
Yeah, Heineken's
That's usually like
solid.
one I go to. And then number 3 would have to be Blue Moon. I remember when I first tried that, I was like, "Yo, I can drink this, just really enjoy it." You know what I mean? Like I don't have to rush through the thing, or whatever. Not that I really care to rush through my beers or whatever. Number 2 would have to be Modelo Especials.
Oh yeah.
And number one is Corona.
Okay. So I'm gonna go the opposite way. I'm gonna think about number 1. Here's the thing. So much like my liquor selections, my beer selections are very dependent on the weather and what I'm doing at the time.
Okay.
Number 1 beer is hands down Blue Moon Draft while I'm watching football. Take me out to a wing spot. Give me Blue Moon on draft, only on tap. I cannot drink Blue Moon out of bottles anymore. I don't like it as much.
Oh, okay.
Give me draft. Yeah, give me draft Blue Moon. Like I said, watching football. Oh yeah. I don't even care about the orange slice, but I appreciate it. I appreciate that it's there. But give me that like in a tall Pilsner glass, like we're set. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes. I used to go to Buffalo Wild Wings all the time with a couple of buddies, and that would be our go-to drink is that Blue Moon Draft. And we with the orange slice in there to, because that's like our little cherry on top.
Oh yeah.
Bruh. You know what I'm saying? With a nice, with a big old thing of hot wings and shit, bruh.
Oh yeah. It goes down so well. Literally sipping on them suds all day, like watching football, like that's where I'm at.
That's the business.
Jay says draft always better than anything. I'm gonna disagree later in my list, but we'll get there. Actually, we'll get there right now. Number 2, I would have to say shout out to everybody with Modelo, because Modelo is like Modelo in the bottles. Modelo in the bottles, not in the cans. Modelo in the bottles with a slice of lime going in, like a little pinch of salt. Like that's the shit.
Yeah.
Let's see. I would have to say, I guess next, number 3 overall, I would give to Yingling, just because Yingling is always bottle, can, whatever. Like Yingling is my go-to beer. You know what I mean? After that, and like there's so many craft brews, especially in Kentucky, like West 6, Country Boy, like Fat Tire, the Cougar Bait, Shotgun Wedding, all that stuff that I want to shout out a lot more, but I'm not going to because I'm not trying to fanboy.
Right.
Unless they naturally come to
clearly
me.
Did already.
Yeah. So after Yingling in the 3rd spot, Corona on a hot day when I'm grilling, but it also has to be in a bottle with a lime. You know what I'm saying? Like Corona with a thin little sliver of a lime. You put your thumb over it, turn it upside down, let it go all the way to the top, and then you turn it back, let it get back to the top, get that little second pop off of it while you're grilling while it's hot. Like when it's hot as hell, Corona extra, only extra. Not light, not premier, not any of that bullshit people drink. So that's got me at number 4. Number 5, I got to give a shout out to Guinness, like the extra stout Guinness.
Guinness is good, yeah.
Guinness is good. Specifically, I would take a Guinness, or I would take a Sam Adams Cold Snap, like in the winter time, like when it's real like cold and everything. You're looking for that thick thing, you know what I'm saying? Like
I think I've had Sam Adams before. Not very memorable.
It looks bitter. It is bitter. But that's part of the draw. Like if you don't like bitter things, then you probably won't like Guinness. I'm gonna be real. You won't like anything that Guinness makes.
You're probably not a real man either.
Jay says not as bitter as you think. It's not as bitter as it looks, but it's still bitter as fuck. So that's my top 5 beers.
Nice. That's not a bad selection.
Yeah. Pretty happy with it. It's taken me a long time to come up with it.
Yeah.
All right. So, well, I'm down. It's 1:30. We've been going for about 2 hours. So 2 hours, I think, is about the goal. I'm down to like let some people in for like 15 minutes if everybody wants to jump in the conversation.
I'm open to it. And
then we can roll right cha. What do you think of our top 6s? So top 6s, here's what I'm going to say. I saw Geminator come up here with that Moosehead. Moosehead tastes like shit. Okay. I'm sorry. And the fact that you have Miller in your top 5 is just fucking disgusting to me.
That's just wrong.
Now let's see going up here. So I want to look at Jay's top 5 liquors: Jägermeister, Jack, Jim, Cognac, Brandy. So I won't hate on Brandy because Brandy is an exotic pick. Jägermeister, I get it. Like if Jaeger's your thing, like it's got to be your thing. You know what I mean? Jack, I have zero respect for Tennessee sour mash just because, I'm a Kentucky boy and we can't. I can't with Jack. And Jim is my least favorite of Kentucky bourbons. Killian's is fantastic. Killian's should get an honorable mention in my top 5. Sapporo, if I'm eating sushi, is fantastic. Asahi is way up there. PBR is way up there as a go-to. I like that Jay's beers are very Japanese focused with that Irish red and that American trash thrown in there. like I appreciate Jay's top 5 beers.
Yeah. Geminator is not so much because he got like Corona and Modelo at the bottom.
See, Geminator goes in a weird direction for me. Fireball number 1, I don't understand. Disaronno number 2, I don't understand. You got Hornitos for tequila. Hornitos is my favorite tequila, and so I get where it's at. Going to rum next and going from Captain Morgan to the Kraken, that's bold to me. So Captain Morgan is like the weakest, dark rum that you can drink. The Kraken is like a strong as fuck black rum. Whew.
I don't know if I can do that.
Beers, Modelo, Corona, no to Miller. Moosehead is trash. Molson, I don't know. Roxy says Modelo is good for baking bread. Right on. We had Modelo's draft. I have had Modelo on draft. Usually, if a place that I'm eating has Modelo on draft, it also has Dos Equis, and I would rather have Dos Equis.
Oh, Dos Equis are good too.
Yeah, on draft. Like I can do Dos Equis Especial on draft, but I cannot do them. I can't do
out of a bottle are pretty good too.
Out of a bottle, it's okay. It's never my like top pick.
Nah, it would be an honorable mention for me because they're actually not that bad.
Let's see. I'll try next. I go to the leg. Well, I don't know what that is. There's a link for the StreamYard for everybody though. You guys want to jump in? Let's see. Met 5. Oh, you're good. Let's see, Modelo. Oh, look, there's Gabe. He's coming in. He's like beer. Modelo, Blue Moon, Corona, No Lime or Salt, Voodoo Ranger, and Coors in the yellow can. Okay, so Modelo I can respect. Blue Moon I can respect. Although, I said, I have limitations on both of those personally. Corona, he says no lime or salt. Corona,
I couldn't do that. I
can though. I can't, like in a pinch, I can do Corona. If it's Corona Extra, I can do Corona Extra in a pinch when I have to with no lime or salt.
I mean, I could do it without the salt, but I gotta have the lime.
Voodoo Ranger, you gotta tell me, like, are you talking like Voodoo Ranger's Imperial IPA? Because that shit is fucking disgusting to me.
And Coors is just plain wrong. I mean, I'm
no. When it comes to like American, like I like Coors better than Budweiser. Like when it comes down to it,
I'll give you that. I mean, but Budweiser is shit.
I can do the Coors Banquet before I would do Coors Light, but Coors Light is also a pretty good throwback for me. I like Coors Light pretty well, but I also grew up like everybody drank Coors Light when I was growing up.
The only Budweiser drink I'll drink is the Bud Light, because I've actually tried the Bud Lights and they're actually not that bad. At least to me, they're not.
Let's see. Mickey's gets an honorable mention. Okay. Hometown Police Department and school
I think I've had
officers
Mickey's. Mickey's pretty good.
thwarted a school shooting at my high school today. Arrested the shooter before he could do anything.
Damn.
Let's see. Received a notice from American High School personnel of a student making threats via social media. Patrol and school resource officers responded to begin an investigation. Investigation revealed the student threatened gun violence toward a school employee. It also contained multiple racial epithets. Began an investigation in this matter while working closely with the Fremont, as a result of the investigation, positively identified the student making the threats. This is what I'm talking about. Like, I can skim through this and see, due to his age, his identity will not be released based on the nature of the threats. No further information will be provided regarding the victim. Shortly after I sent my earlier community message, I was contacted. Like, it's this easy to actually see that shit's gonna happen and stop it. And my heart truly goes out to everybody in the Texas shooting.
Yeah,
that had like a victim in the family, you know, or everybody even in that community, like everybody at that school. But like, if we're gonna be real, like that was a failure on a lot of adults who did not protect the children in that situation.
Period. And what happened to think about the children?
Yeah.
Apparently nobody was thinking about the children then.
Yeah. Come on. Before you even got to school with the intent, so it can be prevented, they just proved it. Yeah, it can be. Right. Corona is amazing alone. Corona Familiar is the best. I like Corona Extra the best. Corona Familiar is pretty good. That's the one in the dark bottles that we can only get that in like the like half liter bottles. So yeah, those are good though. What was the ion charger? Got you. Voodoo Ranger IPA is the bomb. The IPA is okay. The double IPA is when they get crazy on me, and it just tastes like fucking syrup. It feels like syrup.
Stone Cold's Broken Skull IPAs are the best.
Actually,
I haven't tried those. Are they good?
They are good.
They are pretty good. And when you crack one open, like they come in a 4-pack, so when you crack 2 open, because you have to like relive your childhood when you first get them, right. You have to crack 2 open and go,
yeah,
and then you get to be stone cold for a minute, so that's cool too.
Mm-hmm. That's like I've always wanted to try the Crystal Skull vodka from Sammy Hagar. It's just usually way too expensive for me to get.
No, see,
I'm sorry, tequila, not vodka.
I like a michelada. It's like Mexican tomato juice with like Mexican spices mixed with beer and like meat. It's like I went.
It just sounds like way too much going on. If I want to get drink, I want to get drunk.
Fucking amazing, bros. I had that in Mexico, like a real one.
What are you talking about here, Jiminator?
It's called a michelada. It's like a mix.
Oh no! Huh? No. Okay.
Why?
I know what you're talking about. mind you, okay, while we're talking about like Mexican drinks and everything like this, everybody remember I did live in Arizona for a long time. And when I lived in Arizona specifically, I lived 2 miles north of the Mexican border. And so like when you're talking about like Mexican shit like existing around me, like it was there. No, all that shit, like the michelados, the chilados, the all that shit is fucking disgusting, and you're wrong if you don't believe so.
Well, in my opinion, that is my number one alcoholic drink.
Well,
I can never get into enchiladas because of the tomato juice in it.
Get a damn Bloody Mary. I agree with Gabe and Roxy. Gabe says it's a Mexican beer version of Bloody Mary, and I'm going to tell you something. Replacing vodka with beer was a mistake. Roxy says get a damn Bloody Mary. Exactly. Like if you don't know how to spice one up, just say you don't know how to spice one up. Google it real quick, and you can make a better Bloody Mary. You can make a better version of the drink that you think that you like with like 3 minutes on Google. I promise.
See, I hate vodka. That's why I hate Bloody Marys.
You don't taste. How do you hate vodka? You don't even taste it in a Bloody Mary.
I just don't like it, man. I don't like spicy Bloody Marys. I don't.
All you taste in a Bloody Mary is
make it without the spice.
I'm pretty sure that drink he described has some spice in it, though.
Yeah, but it's not spicy. It has spices mixed in. It's not spicy.
You can adjust
follow that.
Spices.
You're gonna have to explain. Like okay, so
do
you not like the spices in a Bloody Mary?
I don't like super spicy Bloody Marys. No. If it's spicy, I can drink it. I can enjoy it. Not if it's too spicy.
So,
yeah.
But you like, if you replace everything in the drink, just take vodka out, put beer in.
See, I don't make Bloody Marys. I just get them at bars and shit.
Just tell your bartender you want a little less hot sauce.
I'll do that next time. I've only had a couple in my life. They're not my go-to.
Yeah, you gotta
I just like making making micheladas at home, where I have all the shit and the Mexican beer. And it's just.
I have a quick question, Jim. Have you ever tried cognac or brandy?
Cognac. I believe I've tried cognac, and well, there's multiple different kinds of brandy, right? So I think I've tried it.
Right. Okay, I was just asking because, your response on the cognac makes me think you haven't because you had to think so long on it, and there's nothing wrong with that because, like I said, you're young. You really haven't experienced a lot like we have.
So what's the difference from cognac and tequila, for example?
Well, they're different alcohols to begin with.
Is it a whiskey? Is it a like?
It's not. It's cognac. It's its own type of alcohol.
It's like a mixture, but okay. So it's kind of like a mixture between whiskey and liqueur.
It's very sweet, and you can sip on it.
Oh, sweet! That's why I like amaretto.
Amaretto is. Am I wrong? Like, is amaretto not a type of cognac?
No, it's not. Amaretto is basically a liqueur that is cherry flavored.
It's almond flavored. I found this out recently.
Okay.
Yeah, it always tastes
you guys
cherry to me. Okay.
You guys know what Disaronno is? Disaronno?
Yeah, I know Disaronno. Disaronno is very close to tasting like a cognac, but they're different.
See, I love Disaronno. It's sweet. I like that.
You would like cognac. You would probably like brandy too, honestly.
Right. Yeah, they're sipping drinks.
Especially like an apple brandy. Like you would be about an apple brandy. I would throw money that you would be about an apple brandy.
Right.
Yeah, but
Or even a
Fireball-
cherry for that matter.
I
Fireball's
did actually fact check Gabe on this too, by the way. Amaretto is best sipped in a Blue Moon. We did this recently on TikTok, and holy Lord, that is good. I drank a whole bottle of Amaretto. Literally the first bottle of Amaretto I've ever bought in my adult life. I drank this exact way, and it was just phenomenal.
Because it's not that strong. Like this one here is like only 28%. So you can just sip it. Like,
well, Amaretto is basically a mixer for most mixed drinks.
I did it as a drop shot because Gabe wasn't clear on the instruction. And so, like, my first time doing it, like, I poured a shot of Amaretto and, like, a little half glass of Blue Moon. And, like, I dropped it and shot it. If you guys haven't seen the TikTok, go watch the TikTok. But
so you
that's
made
what I
a
did.
Boilermaker out of it.
Yeah, I drank, like, the whole fucking bottle of Amaretto that way, though, because that shit is good, man.
Yeah, well, it is.
Yeah, because Disaronno is Amaretto. It says on the bottle.
I love Hiley's comments.
Disaronno tastes like the musky feet, ass, and balls smell of a military barracks.
Yeah, it's definitely not for everybody. There's a lot of people who are not going to like this sweet. Like,
I'm not typically about Disaronno, brandy, cognac, or anything like that by itself, but I do like them as mixers.
So, in other words, Jimmy likes drinking Bill's ball juice.
Basically, Jiminator likes drinking mixers. Jiminator, go buy you a bottle of triple sec and just chug it.
Oh, dude, I love triple sec.
Ah, I knew it.
Dude, blue curacao, is.
Hold up,
not straight.
What? Okay, stop.
Okay,
you know
Listen,
that
I like blue curacao, just not straight.
I feel like Bubba J is trying too hard.
You know that you're not supposed to drink either of these things alone, right? Like blue curacao or fucking triple sec. Like you should never
and shit. Blue curacao is for cocktails and shit, right? That's what I do it.
So is triple sec.
I know, which is why I drink them both in a cocktail.
In what cocktail?
Shit, I make at home. I don't know. It's not like a specific kind.
What do you put in him?
Vodka, orange juice, triple sec, and blue.
You don't like vodka. You don't like vodka though.
Yeah, you don't like vodka.
I like it in cocktails. I'll never drink it straight.
It just doesn't have a taste straight.
It's good in cocktails. I like vodka in cocktails, just never on its own because I will never.
What Jiminy is trying to say is he likes girly drinks.
Yeah, pretty much. But
I feel like eventually, like we will all end up at a bar together, Jiminator, and I just want you to know that when you end up at that bar with me, you will be the guy that I make fun of, like the entire night.
You're
like
probably gonna order me. Probably gonna order me
like anyway. So why should that be any different?
You're gonna make me a Godfather.
No, but when I see his drinks, like, because I'm the guy, like I sit down at the bar, I look at like what their specialty in-house drinks are, see how close those are to things that I actually like, and if they're not close, then I'm like, okay, I will have this bourbon neat, and then I will be drinking straight liquor, and you will be drinking fluff. And if you don't know how this dynamic actually plays out when this happens, like it will end up with me making fun of you profusely.
Well, pray till that day happens. If we go to a bar, I'm just gonna order like a fucking double shot of vodka on the rocks or something.
Rocky cracks me up sometimes too.
You're gonna get vodka on the rocks? You don't like vodka. Why would you do that?
Because I'll do it around you, just so you won't make fun of me.
Jiminator's just gonna be sitting there going, he's gonna have a rocks glass full of vodka. He's going, oh. You don't think I'm gonna make fun of that?
I mean, it's okay to drink what you like, but I guarantee you, Jiminator's the person that would really thoroughly enjoy a red snapper.
You know what? Jiminator is the kind of person who would thoroughly enjoy going to a bar and ordering something called like a gummy bear. He would sit down and he'd be like, "Give me a gummy bear, please." And they would give him a gummy bear and he'd be like, "Ah, this was lovely."
Or a chocolate covered cherry.
I'm not gonna lie. There was a bar. It was a karaoke bar in Hawaii. They used to make a shot called gummy bears, and that shit was delicious. But it was a shot, and I don't think I ever drank shots of gummy bears without crying at the end of the night.
Why?
I agree with Gabe too.
Why? Like, what's so bad about a gummy bear?
Always start with I've still never had Rumple Mints.
Oh, it's good.
If it's minty, then I'm
especially
not
to start the night off with. It's good.
I've never even tried Hennessy. Like, what the fuck is Hennessy?
Well, Rumplemints is kind of a mint flavored alcohol, so it don't
I'm good.
If I'm remembering correctly.
You don't like minty alcohol either? You don't like straight alcohol? You don't like minty alcohol?
Oh, no, I like straight alcohol.
You don't like man
right
drinks. You don't like man drinks, huh?
Here's what's about to happen. Like I'm gonna sit down someday with Jiminator at a bar, and I'm gonna start us off with like a round of Rumple Mints just because I want to try it, and then we're gonna move into I'm gonna get him like Wild Turkey 101, like straight neat, like just neat. And I'm gonna watch them sit this in front of him and see just how he reacts.
So I'm right, Gabe. Cool.
One day, man. One day.
See, that sounds like my kind of jam.
It is.
Proof.
It's good stuff.
100 proof to start the night. Oh, okay.
All right, when that day comes, be sure to vlog that.
You know why, Jiminator? Because if you start the night with 100 proof, you don't taste the alcohol. It doesn't burn as bad the rest of the night.
What do you start your nights off with, Jiminator?
I'll take a beer.
To start?
And then I'll do tequila shots later on. I mean,
who taught you how to drink?
Me.
Okay, first of all, you always take the shots up front. Find your buzz that you want, and then you go to beer. And you're like, nah, I'm just riding the buzz. I'm sticking with the buzz, whatever. And then you take a shot here and there to celebrate something to peak the buzz. You always spike the buzz early, ride the buzz, and then peak the buzz.
And what's the saying? Liquor before beer, you're in the clear. Beer before liquor, never sicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like what Hailey said. Before liquor, no, not that one. It's the other one. Hennessy tastes like shit because all the Insta hoes just all buzz about Hennessy and shit. And apparently it tastes like shit. That's what I've heard. I've never tried it.
Look, Hailey got this one right here. Beer before liquor, never been sicker. Liquor before beer, the night is clear. You always start with liquor. You never go to beer before liquor. What is wrong with you?
I'm like a roller coaster, dude. I'm slowly going up. Everything comes crashing down.
Let me ask you a quick question, Jiminator. When you go drinking, or you are drinking, I should say, your end result is you want to blackout drunk, don't you?
No, I don't even drink that much, to be honest.
Okay.
There is a point I'll go and I'll stop because I've been blacked out drunk before, and it's the shittiest feeling.
Right.
And then
I do respect that. I've been there, and I don't like getting blackout drunk either. But I'm one of those that I know my tolerance, and I pace myself.
Like my amount, like my normal amount that I'll drink a 6-pack of beer, and like 3 or 4 tequila shots, and then I'll end it off with like a Palm Bay or some shit.
But you start with the beer?
Usually.
This is why you don't like drinking.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, you're 6'5", right? Like you're somewhere in that neighborhood.
I'm
6'2".
exactly 6 feet.
Okay, so your alcohol tolerance is relatively high. You're not explaining like a significant amount of alcohol to me if you're having 3 shots and like a 6-pack on a good like time. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not even a good time to me. Like I'm not gonna have fun with that. like
well, in his defense, the first time I blackout drunk and the only time, it took a year for me to even look at liquor, and then after that, I had a low tolerance too.
To be fair, I hate being blackout drunk. I never get blackout drunk. I don't like being drunk.
Right.
I'm
when
just
you're
saying,
blackout, you're borderline alcohol poisoning.
yeah, I'm just saying, like with what Gabe said, you take your shots. Let's say you like 3 tequila shots as part of your nightly cocktail. You do 2 up front. That's how I'm starting the night. I'm doing 2, then I'm getting my beer. Like an hour in, 2 hours in, something like that. Once I'm feeling like where I'm at, I'll take another shot so that I don't get sleepy, so that I get up over the hump. And then I'm going to finish my beer. I'm going to get my next beer, and we're going to move through the night. I'm probably mostly going to drink beer from there, unless like there's a reason for shots. That gives me the level where I can say I want more beer. 100%. If you ask me, yes, I would like another beer. But also, like, if we have something to celebrate or be happy about, yes, I would also like another shot. Like, I will consume with the table. Like, that, to me, 3 shots and a 6-pack is like a outing. Like, that is a reasonable outing. You know what I mean? Like, that is a friendly gathering. You're not going excessive. You're not going over the top. You're not drinking too much. You won't be the guy crying under the bar, so on and so forth. Like, that is a happy outing. And further to me, in my heyday, when I was in the Army, that was the first bar that we would go to out of 3 on our Friday night beer crawl. Would have been like the 3 to 5 shots plus a 6 to 8 pack of beer. And then we would go to the second bar, do whatever, and, you know, get lit and hit on chicks and all that. And then we would go to the third bar if we weren't getting laid. And that was where everybody like toasted on some mixed drinks.
Yeah, see, the time I got blacked out drunk, like I was still in high school, and I used to hang out with these dudes that get just wasted every single Sunday.
Well, that's lame, though.
I know, right? But it's part of childhood, right? Like, you're still in high school, you think you got to outdrink everybody. That was me, anyways. I always felt like I needed to outdrink everybody, so that's what I did. I drank 15 to 20 in that house party. And then came the tequila shots, and I was just doing one after another. I probably did like 8 of them, and kept sipping liquor. And then I remember I fell down the stairs, and these people had a concrete stairs, and I remember busting my big toe right open, and I'm just like, "Fuck! Why can't I feel this? Like, look at that shit." I busted my toe open, threw up in their toilet, threw up on the kitchen floor. And then I remember just sitting in the living room by myself, just fucking feeling like shit. That's just, no, that's not fun.
No, it isn't.
So that's why I just put a limit on it. I'm just like, I'll have a good time.
Although I have to say that my tolerance was a lot more than yours was. Because the time I blackout drunk, I went 5 hours straight drinking every hard liquor and beer I could find. We went through probably about 6 bottles, and not the small bottles, but 6 bottles of alcohol, just me alone. And then I blacked out at a Cinderella concert. I remember 3 songs into the concert, blacked out, came to an hour after the concert was over with a friend shoving his fingers down my throat, telling me to puke. And whenever I came to, he walked me to the train station and told me that security at the concert hall in Japan was threatening to call the cops because I did over $5,000 worth of damage to the concert hall. And to this day, I don't know all of what I did.
Well, I don't personally like getting blackout drunk because both of the times that I've been blackout drunk, I've been arrested. And so just to me, it just seems like a better idea just not to do that anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That said, I mean, I like a good buzz. You know, I like getting where I want to be.
Yep.
Even if that means slurring my words a little bit and stuff like that, like that's fine.
I agree with you.
I don't want to lose control ever because it just never ends up in my favor.
Yeah, see, I was a teen like Geminator when I had my blackout drunk. I was like 19, and from 19 to 21, the smell of vodka would turn my stomach, and everybody was like, "What are you talking about? Vodka doesn't have a smell." It's like, well, if you get blackout drunk with vodka, as well as others,
you just don't want to think about it.
Now, vodka has a smell. My only thing is I don't feel like vodka has it has a taste. It just doesn't have like a dominating taste. You know what I mean? Like vodka is really easy to cover up. If I'm being 100% honest, like the taste of vodka is disgusting.
Yeah, it's rubbing alcohol.
But it's just you can just cover that flavor up so easily. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, I know the last party I went to, there were these chicks who would leave their cups of water, which I assumed was water, and it's crazy how much vodka looks like water. And I'm just like, let me get a cup of water, and there's vodka in there. I just chugged a whole cup of vodka, and it was shitty.
That was last weekend. With my friends, when they start acting a fool drunk, we start handing them water and telling them it's shots of vodka.
So, funny story. You guys have seen Biggie Price in here.
Yeah.
So Biggie was my bunkmate. Well, he wasn't my bunkmate. So he and I shared bunks. The first time I was in Arizona, he was on the top bunk here. I was on the top bunk here, and there was like a little dresser between us that we used. And so he always kept this big ass jug. It was a water jug on top of the dresser. And on the weekends, like he would always sip it and leave it there and whatever. And so I wake up one night in the middle of the night. We were in the Army, you know, you do things, whatever. And so I reach over. I'm like, I'm fucking thirsty. We're on the top bunk. I don't want to wake anybody up. I'm just going to grab a drink of his water. And I take a big gulp of his water and realize it's not vodka. It's Everclear.
Oh.
And so immediately it just burnt. Everclear, Geminator, since you're uninitiated, is like one notch lower than rubbing alcohol, like pure rubbing alcohol. And so it just, as soon as it hits, it just burns. And so I just spit everywhere. And he gets up and he's just laughing at me. He's like, he's like, you did it. I'm like, fuck you. But yeah.
He set that up for you?
No, he didn't. No. He didn't set it up for me. It just happened.
That's funny. No, something I noticed.
The only alcohol I ever had. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say the only alcohol I've ever had that rivals Everclear is soju.
Yeah, soju's rough.
Oh yeah, you were talking about that the other day. But something like I noticed, Tyler, you don't have a monotone voice. You're very expressive when you talk. Something I've been realizing since Namson sort of brought it up to me. It's like I'm very monotone. I speak in the same sort of way.
Okay.
And Tyler's just
I like how we went from talking about alcohol to Tyler's voice.
I don't know. It's just something I noticed.
Something told me that Geminator's already buzzed.
I've had some Fireball.
Is there a point?
No.
ADHD.
Yes, my voice is very expressive. My brain functions at a level above, K-12.
Yeah.
Well, I have a very monotone voice too, I've been told.
Yeah, I'm not talking about you though, Jay.
I know. It's all good. I understand that. Not everything is about me. I know.
Bathtub punch? What does that mean?
You haven't lived till you had bathtub punch.
Oh, you've never had hunch punch?
What's hunch punch?
All right, so the best parties that we used to throw, where you get a big metal tub, right? I want to throw one here soon.
Metal garbage cans are the best.
Well, no, like I like the big metal tubs, like the ones that you can carry, like the bins, you know, because they're about the same size as a cooler. You can also do it in a cooler. Whatever.
Right.
Either way, get you a large container of some sort, right? Fill it up with ice. Everybody, requirement to come to the party. You bring a bottle of clear liquor. You can bring any liquor that you want. It doesn't matter if it's Everclear. It doesn't matter if it's tequila. It doesn't matter if it's, vodka, white rum, whatever.
Yeah.
The assumption is the host of the party is going to do a few things. Number one, you're going to cut up some fruit. This is usually a watermelon, a strawberries, an orange or two, something like that. Like you're going to cut up some fruit, right? You're going to mix it in with the ice. Everybody's coming in. They're bringing a bottle of clear liquor, right?
Right.
Are you with me so far, Jiminator?
Yeah.
Okay. So they walk into the door. What do? Entrance to the party, you dump your liquor into the tub. Yeah?
So there's just a big tub just sitting on your fucking floor?
Big ass tub full of fruit and ice.
Yep.
Big ass tub. You pour your clear liquor in, and that's that. Have a good night, Gabe. Appreciate you hanging out.
Later, Gabe.
Anyway, big ass tub full of fruit and ice, right?
Yep.
You pour your clear liquor in. Whatever. We mix it in. Everybody gets to the party. Maybe the host of the party bought like some red, white, and blue Smirnoffs, some Smirnoff, daiquiris, whatever, to give it a little bit of color. Maybe you want to throw some trolley gummy worms or something like that in there. Whatever you got to throw in there. Anything's cool. As long as it's fruity.
Edibles in there.
No. It's got no, Jiminator. Damn.
I know you mentioned gummy bears, so.
So you throw in fruity snacks and fruit and clear liquor and everything in, and then it's all stirred up. And then as the party progresses, you drink and you drink and you drink and you drink and you drink, and eventually you eat the fruit or you eat the candy or you eat the whatever. Best party you'll ever go to. It's better than those lame fucking geeks you were hanging out in high school with.
Just don't use edibles in it because you're already getting drunk. You don't need anything else with it.
Do not use edibles. First of all, there's no single hunch punch recipe.
Right.
Second, understand that every hunch punch that you have will be better than any other kind of liquor you will ever have in your life.
Yep.
Sounds fun.
And you're a little bit more strict with your rules than I've been at parties with, because most of the parties that I've been with where they do that, the rule is just bring a bottle of alcohol. It doesn't matter if it's clear or dark.
We required clear. Any color getting added to it was coming from the host. And so like if you're throwing in like the Smirnoff ices or whatever, usually if we were hosting, we would get because it was when Smirnoff Ice first came out, so they only had the red ones, so we would throw those in there and everything, and so it still stayed clear. But yeah, I mean, we stayed strict with all that, but it was always clear liquor. Clear liquor is key because dark liquor will fuck up the flavor.
Yeah.
See, like I said, the ones that I've been at, they were just more interested in getting fucked up. So it was clear and dark liquors.
Well,
and people had Jägermeister and Rumpelmints and everything else thrown in it.
Well, with clear though, a lot of people would cheap out and buy Everclear and shit.
Right.
And so
we all had that in there too.
like you're getting fucked up. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I feel you. I
Is
just
it,
find it interesting.
and you, everybody drinks until it's gone, right?
Yeah, and I've heard people that only do dark liquors with it too.
Yeah.
But like I said, the most of the ones that I've been to, it was you just bring a bottle of alcohol, whatever you like to drink, and it gets dumped in with everything else.
It don't matter. It's still gonna taste delicious. If you go to a hunch punch party, like it.
True, I agree with you.
I'm telling you, like when it soaks in with everything, like you don't even notice the alcohol, even though it's straight alcohol. Like
Yeah, and the other thing is, if it's done right, you can drink yourself sober too. Done that a couple of times.
So
I've
something like
what the fuck you're holding up to me? That looks like blue meth. Why are we watching Breaking Bad right now?
No,
that will get me clapped.
It's a party hunch punch pack. It's like a blue.
Why does she just come in and fucking spread her legs like she's on the attack?
It's a small container. We usually use huge bathtubs or like metal garbage container.
My wife's coming to get me, which means that our 3-hour stream has went forever.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Also, she showed me her ass, and I hope you guys didn't see it, but
we didn't. Or at least I didn't.
Of course not.
It looks nice.
I'm sure.
Sounds only finished.
So is she signaling the pipes need cleaning?
Yeah. She forgot all that toxic masculinity from earlier and all that. Like, she's just...
So you had to go and remind her.
Yeah.
It's all the talk of alcohol.
You are less than me.
I need some alcohol. Hey, before we go, though, Tyler, take a shot with me, all right?
You're just going to look at me and nod? Like, what? I'm live on Facebook right now. They don't like that. Y'all didn't see it, but she just looked at me and goes... Roxy said the cut is open for business.
The cut is open for business. Oh man.
I'm gonna get my cut in the cut.
Yep.
Take a shot.
And I got that straight out the cut.
Cut in the cut.
Discord.
All right. Is anybody else drinking? Jason?
No.
Jay?
Okay, so.
Nope.
Why is the guinea pig in the floor?
Water, soda.
Oh.
Alcohol is for special occasions for me.
Yeah, this is a special occasion.
I'm already sleepy. I'm about to go to bed after this.
Hang on.
Sweet,
You're gonna have to wait a second, Jiminator. I've been handed a puppy.
Okay, so.
Okay, so go make a day drink alone.
And according to what it says, you've only been live for 2 hours and 52 minutes.
Yes.
For me, it
And
says
I thought I was a time checker.
Oh God, she don't like it. Get her. This is tequila for or vodka for dog people.
For dog people, not for the dog.
Shoot! All right. Cheers.
There you go.
Is Sierra still there within earshot?
Yeah.
I had another merch idea line for her. Get a picture of the dog and have it say, "I drink because you bark."
Yes. Or my owner drinks because I bark too much.
Fuck, that one burned more than usual.
There's a TikTok trend you want me to do before we go to bed. What is it? What is it? I'm not gonna act like you. Unless you give me a wig. I have to go to bed now.
All right, have a good night.
I bet you
I'm
do.
gonna hop out.
I'm gonna
you gotta properly end the stream though before you do so.
Yeah, we gotta do this. Like
ATRL tomorrow. I'll see you later.
ATRL tomorrow. Appreciate you guys. Like, share, subscribe. Check out Jiminator and Jason JV on YouTube.
Both Jason JV and the JJV-TV channel.
Yeah, them things.
What are we sharing? Oh, okay. We're doing the outro. All right. I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Miss you, brother. You betrayed me.
Yo, you was my homeboy, shit, more like family. So it's sad to see just how this turned into a casualty. I had my suspicions, you battling addictions with your previous convictions. Why didn't you just listen? Now you stuck in this confliction and you turned into infliction. When I speak to you, don't know what is fact or fiction. You telling me little white lies when you snorting up on them white lines. I know you ain't in your right mind. Liquid drifted down this pipeline. Always intoxicated, pupils all dilated, leaving me and your family always feeling violated. I miss the days we used to kick it just like judo. Pass me another Bruto, the dynamic duo. We was Batman and Robin. I miss you quite often. I can't believe my best friend is laid up in a coffin. I remember the first time I seen you stuck in comatose. I pray you catch the Holy Ghost, not another overdose. Fuck.
I don't know. Where do we go? Real homies always ride till death, but I guess we got nothing left. I don't know. Where do we go? Real homies always ride till death, but I guess we got nothing left.
Yo, you ever have the real ones that's been down with you since you were at your lowest? The truest of the true without ulterior motives? How about them fake ones and I ain't guess to name them? They claim they keep it 100, but really they just full of it. Got no problems using you for them to succeed. But where the fuck are they when you're the one it's in need? I guess they'd rather scar your ass like you Mufasa. Can give two shits if you hit rock bottom.
Look at Jay fall, yeah, that's right, Joe. We got him, he's no longer a problem.
Well, hate it or love it, this underdog is coming up. Thanks in large part to my Ranger squad. You see, I know who's my fam, and I know who the frauds. You think you got me beaten? Well, sorry, not sorry, you dumb shits. You already lost. Got no qualms giving you that shoulder that's covered in frost.
I don't know. Where do we go? Real homies always ride till death, but I guess we got nothing left. I don't know. Where do we go? Real homies always ride till death, but I guess we got nothing left.
Nothing left. Yeah, that sounds so wrong. Remember hanging on out with you when the others are gone, but you don't see that now. Can't really fathom how. It's like you're just a phantasm. Now this chasm's out. Wow. It ain't like you, dude. Ain't like you to be this rude. Told you all the things that no one else could ever see me through. Told you all about how all the others left me feeling used. You dipped out like nothing. Can't believe this. Now I'm so confused. Real homies come by only once every blue moon. Got my friends that die for me. Now I'm hoping you do too. Someone like Jason always helping me get through. Giving up the love has got me sorry for you, but I'll be carrying through. No, I'm not carrying you. Got friends since preschool, so I'm just fucking embarrassed for you. God gave me this to learn, best believe I'll carry that through. Sometimes we need to lose just to see what we've been missing too, I guess.
I don't know. Where do we go? Real homies always ride till death, but I guess we got nothing left. I don't know. Where do we go? Real homies always ride till death, but I guess we got nothing left. I don't know. Where do we go? Real homies always ride till death, but I guess we got nothing left. I don't know. Where do we go? Real homies always ride till death, but I guess we got nothing left.